Hey everybody, Blaine Austin here. Day 3 of our countdown to Christmas. Glad you're joined us this morning. And hey, we've got another fantastic show lined up for you today. We're super excited to have Brent Taylor here from Durkee Hoops. And we also have Nathan Erznoznik going to be here with Grace for this 2 hours today. And oh my gosh, we have some great products. And I'm telling you what, guys, Brent is going to show us some stuff today with hooping. If you like to do embroidery and you like to have some of the best hoops on the market, he's going to have some stuff and show us that it's incredible. So we're going to have an hour with him. We're going to have an hour with Nathan with some Grace products. And man, we got some great deals for you today too. Also, we got our Christmas song scavenger hunt. If y'all didn't know about that, the people who were here yesterday know all about it, and we'll kind of explain that. But basically what we're doing is we got a scavenger hunt for Christmas songs, and we're going to give you clues and throughout the week, and you have to guess what song it is that we're talking about. It's a very popular Christmas song, and on Friday when you hear the last clue, you're going to actually email us to contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com. Your guess, and then what we're going to do, if all the correct answers, we are going to put you in a pool, make a drawing, and that lucky winner is going to win a Brother sewing machine. It's an LB 5000S. It's the Star Wars edition that has the overlays. If you don't like Star Wars, you don't have to put the overlays on it, but it's a $500 sewing and embroidery machine. It does a 4x4 embroidery area. So what a great prize. And again, we're going to give prizes today, and each day the prizes just keep getting a little better, so you don't want to miss a show. So hey guys, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to dive right in and get to Brent. But first, just remember how we're going to give our prizes today is make sure that you make a comment. If you're on Facebook, make a comment, share our page today, like it, and that'll automatically get you entered to win. If you're watching from YouTube, hey, go down there and give us a thumbs up and hit that bell button, and that's going to automatically get you entered as well. And but you can make comments on YouTube as well. So we want you to ask questions if you have any questions. Hey, Tracy all the way from Illinois. So welcome today. Thanks for joining our show. And guys, this is going to be great. I don't know if y'all know Brent Taylor. He's been on our show before, but we are super, super excited to have him on the show. Brent is just a wealth of knowledge, and he has got, in my opinion, the best embroidery frames in the industry out there in the hoops. And I just really like how they work. Hey, Susan out in Texas, welcome to the show. And so anyway, hey, let's pull up, let's get Brent on the show. Hey, Brent, welcome to our show today, and I'm glad you were able to make it.
Oh, Blaine, thank you for the invitation, and happy holidays to everybody.
Oh, it's going to be, I'm so excited you're here. And I just love your hoops and frames. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about the whole spectrum of them. We're going to talk about the single needle. We're going to talk about multi-needles. And then we're going to talk about some specialty ones that you have as well. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct. So if you're ready, let's get started.
Let's get going. I'm ready.
And Blaine, I'm going to throw you a curve right off the bat. I didn't discuss this with you. I know you have some of your own prizes to give away, but is it okay if I give away a few things too?
Oh man, hey, I don't think you'll have any of our customers that would object of you giving some stuff away.
Terrific. Let's get going then. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Tell you what, thanks folks for joining us. We're delighted to have you. And I want to start off with something I want to make sure that I say up front because I'm afraid I'll forget it at the very end. And that is a big, sincere thank you to the countless number of people all across the country and frankly around the world that have been so supportive of our products. We deeply appreciate your support and the kind comments. Believe you me, there's nothing that makes the day brighter. So we really do appreciate the support that we've had. So with that said, let's get going. Blaine, I thought a good place to start would be talking about caps, because a cap is a specialty product that a lot of people would like to make, but maybe they're a little intimidated to make it. And I want to tell you, we've made making caps a whole lot easier. But I thought we'd start off with the language of caps, just so everybody could be on the same page, okay? When we talk about caps, ball caps, the language is typically non-structured, moderately structured, or structured hats. Now, what does that mean? This, guess what this is? This is a completely non-structured cap. There is no support in this cap whatsoever. But you'll notice that we've stitched the front of it. There are a lot of people that like that type of a cap. Now, what makes a cap structured is the product or fiber that goes on the inside, the fabric, and it's called buckram. The more buckram you have, the stiffer the cap, or if you will, the more structured the cap. So if we look inside this cap, and this would be a moderately structured cap, you see that white fabric, it's called buckram. Again, the more buckram you have, the stiffer or more structured. This again is a moderately structured cap, but it goes all the way up to caps that people typically refer to as trucker caps. I mean, those things are so hard in the front, you could almost drive a truck over them and without bending them down. So all different types of caps. The one thing I want to show you as we go along, by the way, and all these caps, of course, were made with Durkee cap frames. That's 26,000 stitches. Can you believe that? And one of the other differences with our cap frame versus traditional cap frames, I'll talk about that in just a second. And I'm sorry I can't get a lot closer, but I hope you can see this cap is stitched on the back. So you can do the back of the cap and the front of the cap. And in just a second, I'm going to show you using a couple of our products how you do the front, the back, and the sides of the cap, okay? Now, quickly, some other things that you can do. Bucket caps, good old bucket caps. Can you do visors? Absolutely. Got some golfers out there in your life? There's your visor, okay? You don't have to give them one with a DE logo, but we'll make you special price on that one, okay? So yeah, you can do all of those things. Just this past year at the VDTA show in Las Vegas, we created this cap in our booth just to show some of the things that you could do with our frames. Now this cap, look at this. This is the front of stitch, got a beautiful logo on the front. Our name on the back, done vertically, just to show the difference. And then look, the question comes up, can you do the sides? Sure you can. And I'm going to show you how you do the sides when we get to our easy frame products. So just by combining our cap frames with our easy frames, you can do it all, okay? And you know what? Blaine, we've been doing cap frames now for, I guess, about 3 years. We started off with a multi-needle cap frame, which I'll show you when we get to the next segment. And then we started doing single needle cap frames. Now watch this. Those machines that have the adapter, the flatbed single needle machines that have the adapter that you slide the hoop into the machine, those machines come with a 5x7 hoop. If you'll take the inside of that hoop out and put our cap frame into the outer hoop or the outer ring, slide it right into the machine, look at what you can do. And yes, once again, you can do the front of the cap, you can do the back of the cap. And by the way, that design was already built into the machine. So that's for the machines that have the slide-in type adapter. But what about the ones like the PE 770 or the 800? We have a cap frame for it as well. That machine, the maximum sewing field happens to be 5x7. Once again, take the inside of the 5x7 hoop out, put our insert into the middle of it, sticky backing goes on the back, put the cap in, stitch away. And again, Blaine, I know you have them as well, but on our website, it's loaded with videos demonstrating all of these things, okay? So we had all the single needles taken care of, except for one. There was one category of machines that we had not made cap frames for. And today I am absolutely delighted to show you our newest product. There are literally tens of thousands of embroidery machines out there that have a maximum sewing field of 4x4. And someone said a long time ago, the opposite of love is not hate, the opposite of love is being ignored. Guess what? If you feel like you've been ignored and nobody's been making any special products for your 4x4 maximum sewing field embroidery machine, well, that just changed. You not only can do caps with this cap frame, you can do some other things like baby bibs and towels and bandanas and handkerchiefs, all types of things. But can you imagine doing something that beautiful on a 4x4 sewing field machine? Here's the back of the cap frame, so you can see the sticky backing. You know, Blaine, rather than me sit here and talk about this, if I'm not mistaken, don't you have a video that shows exactly how to do this?
Hey, Brent, we sure do. And hey, I'm so excited about that 4x4. As you know, we did the world premiere launch on our Cyber Monday show, and the response was incredible. And we have sold thousands of those 4x4 machines, as you know. And so I'm super excited about this, and I know all of our customers are too. You know, this is something brand new for that 4x4 embroidery field for these machines out there. So this is great. So you're right, we do have a video, and David, can we key that video up right now? We're going to show that video right now.
Good
Brent.
deal. Let's do it.
To begin embroidery, you'll need your cap, your Durkee frame, and a piece of adhesive back tearaway stabilizer cut to the size of the Durkee frame. Turn the Durkee frame upside down and orient it to where it's easy for you to place the stabilizer on top of it. Remove the stabilizer from the release paper and place onto the back of the Durkee cap frame. Press the stabilizer onto the back of the cap frame to secure it. Next, we need to get the sweatband out of the way of the embroidery area. An easy way to get the sweatband out of the way is to bend the cap inside out and pull the sweatband towards you. I like to secure my sweatband out of the way with a piece of medical paper tape. This will keep the sweatband out of the embroidery area and will remove cleanly when you're done with the embroidery. Once you have the sweatband out of the way, roll the top of the cap to where all of the excess is out of the way of the embroidery field. Turn the Durkee cap frame right side up. Loosen the nuts but do not remove them from the frame. Slide the brim of the cap into the Durkee cap frame. You'll notice there are centering notches on the cap frame, both on the brim holder and on the back of the cap frame. Align the center of the cap with the centering notches on the cap frame. Arrange the cap to where the cap is actually sticking onto the adhesive back stabilizer. Make sure the brim of the cap is as close to the adhesive back stabilizer as possible. Once into position, tighten the wing nuts. Align the back center of the cap with the center notch in the back of the cap frame. Smooth the cap from the center out. If your cap has a buckle in the back of it, you may find it easier to manipulate the cap if you loosen the buckle. This will make it easier to curl the back of the cap up so that it will remain out of the way of the embroidery field. Once your cap is hooped, it's time to take it to the embroidery machine. At the embroidery machine, you want to lift the foot of the machine. Gently slide the cap frame into the machine, making sure that you clear the foot, and then attach to the embroidery unit. Make sure that the cap frame snaps into place. Open your embroidery design and then touch the rotate button. Touch rotate 90 degrees and then touch OK. Touch edit end. Touch the needle drop position key. Touch the left center button. Touch OK. Use the move arrows on the touch screen to move the design to where the bottom center of the design is where you would like it to be located. In the embroidery field, check to make sure that the foot is not going to hit the sweatband. If it's too close or too far away, use the move keys to adjust the position. I like to drop the needle to make sure that my needle is dropping in the center of the cap seam. If any adjustments need to be made, use the move keys on the touch screen pad. On the touch screen, touch the bottom left needle position key. Check to make sure that your foot is not going to hit the sweatband. On the touchpad, touch the top left needle position. Check and make sure that the foot will clear the sweatband. On the touch screen, touch the center needle drop position. Drop the needle and check to make sure that the position is correct. On the keypad, touch the right center button. Touch the upper right needle drop position. Check to make sure that your eyelets are going to be missed. On the keypad, touch the bottom right needle position to check that position. Touch the right center position key. Drop your needle to make sure that it is in the center of the cap. My center position was slightly off, so I'm going to lift my cap off the sticky stabilizer and then smooth it back into place. Be sure to check the needle drop again just to make sure that you are in the correct position. Once everything's in position, touch OK and then touch embroidery. Lower the presser foot and then press the start button. When the embroidery is finished, touch OK. With this cap, my embroidery finished close to the brim. To make removing the cap frame easier, I'm going to touch the previous screen button. Then I'll touch the needle drop position key. Touch the center needle position key. Gently remove the cap frame from the embroidery arm and then lift the presser foot and guide the cap frame out from underneath the presser foot. To remove the cap from the frame, loosen the wing nuts. Gently peel your cap off of the adhesive back stabilizer. Pull the brim out from underneath the holder and then lift. Unroll the sweatband and then reshape your cap. If you placed tape on your sweatband, you'll want to remove that before wearing the cap. The Durkee cap frame also allows you to embroider on the back of your caps. Place your adhesive stabilizer on the back of the cap frame and then place your cap on top of the adhesive stabilizer and begin your embroidery. The Durkee cap frame can also be used to embroider on hard-to-hoop items like masks, baby bibs, blankets, dog collars, and much more.
Wow, what a great video. So, hey, Brent, I know there's a couple questions came in. I want to ask you a question about that. I know that 4x4 only fits the Brother and Baby Lock machines that have a 4x4 embroidery field. But don't you have some frames that fit some other brands? That's what the people are asking. How about the other brands of machines out there?
Okay, the 4x4 cap frame is exclusively for Brother and Baby Lock machines. Brother and Baby Lock only, with a maximum sewing field of 4x4. I don't have anything for machines like Bernina or Janome, that type of thing, but I do have them for Brother and Baby Lock. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, that was that question, but I think they were not even specifically talking about the 4x4. Do you have hat frames in general that fit, for the flatbed machines on other brands like Janome, Bernina, and things like that, just besides Brother and Baby Lock?
Okay, the only additional one that we have, and it's highly specific, for the Janome, I think it's a 500 or 550E or 550, that's somewhere in that category, a 500 series machine. We do have a cap frame insert for it in the single needle flatbed. That's all that we have, okay? Just that one machine, the Janome 500 series.
All right, and Brent, the other question was, can you explain exactly when you're saying the insert, just so everybody's clear on that, could you explain a little bit kind of how the insert fits in their existing hoop?
Sure, let me grab it here. I don't have the inside part of your hoop, but you should recognize this. That's your 5x7 hoop, okay? And there's an inside piece when you're using it as a two-piece hoop, mashing two pieces together with a piece of stabilizer and your fabric. So all you're going to do is take the inner hoop out, leaving the outer ring. This is the part that actually slides into your machine, okay? And if I can get this, Danielle, where we can show this on the table, I hope. On the end where you tighten, down here where the tightening mechanism is, that's where you want the build clamp, which is this portion. That's where you want it to go. If you could look, and I'm sorry I can't do one this close up, but inside this outer ring are little bitty tabs, or if you will, little shelves. And they're little support tabs So when you put the cap frame in, when you insert it into that hoop, those little tabs hold it in place, and then just take a little screwdriver and tighten up this little adjustment nut, just like you're tightening up a regular hoop, and you're ready to go. So all that the insert is doing is replacing the inner part of your regular 5x7 hoop. I hope that clarifies for you.
It did, Brent. That was a great explanation, and I think everybody really truly understands that. So I know for the 5x7, you have some more, that it'll fit the brother and baby lock 5x7 frames for some of those machines, and then you also have the one for the Janome.
Correct.
So that they can turn that regular hoop that they have into a cap frame, but just putting your insert in.
Absolutely correct. And I'll go ahead and I'll give you another world premiere. I'm mad about giving you world premieres.
We want all the world premieres we can get.
There you go. I literally got a call from my anodizer about an hour before the show telling me that our samples are now ready. But in just a second, I'm going to talk about our regular single needle easy frames. And I'm sorry I don't have one right by my hand, but we have a 5x7 easy frame. The new product that's coming out is going to be the first time we've ever combined two products in one. And the two products are going to be a single needle easy frame, which I'll show in just a minute, and the cap frame on the end. So it's going to be a combo product that's going to be both cap frame and single needle easy frame. So you'll get two in one. How do you like that idea?
Man, I love that idea. That's awesome.
Well, that will be coming soon. Okay.
Hey, man, I want to be the first person you ship it to.
You got it, as usual. You got it. So if we can move on, let me go ahead and talk about the single needle easy frames for just a moment. When I first got into this industry 12 years ago, my background is in the building materials industry, and no, I'm not an engineer. People frequently ask, are you an engineer? No, I'm not. I do not know how to drive a train, I promise you. But when I first got into the business, someone introduced me to a gentleman that's since become a friend, and he runs one of the largest commercial embroidery machine companies in America called Barrington. His name is Bob Stone. He's a really great guy. When I first met him, it was so funny. It wasn't much past, hello, how are you? My name is. And this is what he said. He said, Brent, there are only two challenges, real challenges in the embroidery industry. I said, really? What are they? He said, the first one is hooping. I said, really? Hooping? I said, what's the second one? He said, if you solve the first one, there isn't a second one. And all the point he was trying to make, and I've since learned that it was really true, that people's greatest frustration and greatest challenge in this industry is hooping. Most people with a traditional two-piece plastic hoop, you got an outer ring and an inner ring. Everybody knows how that works. They come with your machine, whether you've got a single needle or a multi-needle machine. And most everybody, if you've been embroidering for any period of time, we've all had this problem. You hoop something, you put it on the machine, and all of a sudden you're halfway through that stitch out, and pop, the outer ring comes off because the thumb screw was not tight enough. And you ruin the fabric. So the next thing that happens is you say that will never happen again. And so now what happens is we go to the other extreme, and that's when I start getting phone calls of my thumb screws no longer won't tighten. People say that'll never happen again. So now they start taking pliers and wrenching that thumb screw down so tight, that outer ring so tight, that they get hoop burn, a big ring or circle on their fabric, and they tear up the thumb screw. Now, technically, let me address this very quickly. Thumb screw means thumb. No tighter than you can tighten with your thumb. Now, granted, a lot of folks, and the reason we develop some of the products that you're going to see, or most every product that you're going to see, is because I'm 70 years old. A lot of people that I've seen in this industry are getting up in years. We have carpal tunnel syndrome or arthritis, and doggone it, it's hard to put those two-piece hoops together to get the thumb screw just right. So that's where we came with some solutions. And that's what I want to show you next. We came out with single needle. This is for your single needle flatbed machines, single needle easy frames. All in the world you do. This is a one-piece frame. When we're at trade shows and people walk up and we're demonstrating and we have this on the machine and it's stitching away, all they see is fabric. They don't even see the hoop. And they say, what's holding the fabric on there? What is this? It's a one-piece frame. You use a self-adhesive sticky backing on the back, sticky side up, okay? And then we have centering notches on all four sides. Center your garment or your fabric, press it down on that sticky backing, trace your design and go. Now let me talk about this for just 1 second. The easy frames for the single needle flatbed machines are virtually the only product that we have that your machine's going to recognize the hoop, okay? So when you buy our single needle easy frame, for example, this specific one I'm holding in my hand is an 8x12. When you put this adapter into your machine is going to know that you have a sewing field of 8x12, and you do. Even though it recognizes the hoop, we still say, please always trace your design, even with factory hoops. Always trace your design. Get in the habit of doing that, okay? So we have this in every size. Gosh, I can sit here. Let's see if I can do this from memory. 4x4. These are all for the flat bed machines. 4x4, 5x7, 6x6, 6.25 by 10.25, 7x12, 8x12, 8x8, 9.5 by 9.5, 9.5 by 14, and 10 5/8 by 16. I think I just named them all. But we have single needle easy frames for all the machines. Now, at the end of the show, I'm going to come back and talk about a variety of the different packages that we have available. And when I do that, then you'll see exactly what the difference is between what package works for your machine, okay? So if there are no specific questions about the single needle easy frames, Blaine, I'm going to move on to the multi-needle products, if that's okay.
Yes, let's do it. I want to see some of those multi-needle ones.
You know, Blaine, that's a little too fast. If you don't mind, take a minute. I'll tell you what let's do. How about giving away one of these 4x4 single needle easy frames, okay?
Hey, we can do it.
That's the case.
Hey, and you know what? We're going to go one step further, Brent. We're going to actually, we're going to give the frame away and also a little 10-pack of the Thermoplast to go with it.
Wow. What a deal. Do it.
All right. So, guys, let's draw a name real quick. And one lucky winner out there is going to win one of these 4x4 hoops. And if whoever wins this, if you don't have a brother or baby lock machine, I'll sell you one. That's a deal, isn't it, Brent?
Santa Claus Blaine, I love it.
All right. So, hey, you're the second person that's called me Santa Blaine.
Well,
I got called that on the show the other day. So, hey, there's Charlene. Hey, Jeff, how's it going, man? So we're going to pull us a winner up? All right, here's the winner. Is it, I can't see the last name?
D-Lo.
D-Lo. So, D-Lo, you just won a 4x4 Durkee hat frame, and congratulations on that. And D, just, you know what, send us an email to contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com with your name and your shipping address, and put in the title or the header, I won, and then just tell us what you won in the body of the email along with your address, and we'll get that shipped right out to you. So congratulations, D.
Way to go. Hey, D, congratulations. And Blaine, please forward that information to me. That's on me. Let me send her the cap frame on your behalf, okay?
All right, that sounds good. I'll forward an email to you, and you can send it right to her. That'd be great. So I want to see all about these multi-needles now.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, the problem I talked about a few minutes ago about the hooping, really, it's even a more prevalent situation or challenge or charge for people with multi-needle machines. Now, multi-needle machines, we refer to them as having tubular arms. They have two arms out here and then a sewing arm in the middle. Now, this might sound just a little bit confusing, but if you hear me out very quickly, I think it'll make a lot of sense. When we talk about multi-needle machines in the home embroidery industry, typically we're talking about a 6-needle or a 10-needle brother or baby lock machine. But we incorporate one other machine into the group, even though it's a single needle machine. And that machine is the Brother Persona PRS 100 or the Baby Lock Alliance. And the reason is, just like the 6 and 10 needle machines, they have the same type arms and the same type sewing arm in the center. Everything mounts the same way. So everything I'm going to be showing you relates to both the 6 needle, the 10 needle, and that single needle Persona or Alliance machine, okay? With that said, I want to start off talking about size. And the reason size is so important, most people would like whatever their embroidery machine is, most everybody wants to sew bigger. That's why sometimes they go buy bigger machines. The one thing I want to make sure everybody understands is the capability of the machine that you have right now. It's really important that you understand it. There's 2 languages that are spoken. Now, I said my background's in the building materials industry, so I'm going to play a little game with you. I'll warn you up front. And I'm going to ask you to raise your hand. No, even though I can't see you. If you've ever been to a Lowe's or Home Depot or a building supply company and purchased a 2x4, would you raise your hand, please? I'll bet every hand is up, okay? I bet everybody raised their hand.
I'm raising mine.
Well, here comes my surprise. You ready? No, you haven't. Chances are you've never seen a 2x4. Chances are you'll never see. Whoa, wait a minute, Brent. The newspaper ad said 2x4, and I went down there and bought one. it might have said 2 before.
And 3/4.
Because that was the nominal size. The language is nominal size, actual size. The nominal size is 2x4. If you put a tape measure on it, it's 1.5 inches, about 3.5 inches. Nominal size, actual size. Why would I tell you that story? Because embroidery is the same way. Hear me out. You see, your machine's probably manufactured in Japan. In Asia, they speak metric. They don't speak the USA form of measuring. And as a result, when you take their millimeters and convert it to inches, instead of it coming out 12 inches wide, in reality, it's like 11 7/8. And a lot of times when you go to buy a machine, they'll say this Persona PRS-100 has an 8x8 sewing field. No, it does not. No, it does not. And nobody's trying to mislead you. The nominal sewing field is 8x8. The actual sewing field is about 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. You say, Brent, that's 1/8 of an inch. What's the big difference? For quilters, it's a real big difference. They want to do an 8x8 block. They want an 8x8 block, okay? Same thing, 12x8, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the nominal sizes. The actual sizes are just a little tiny bit smaller. Now, with that said, just as we did with the single needle easy frames, we did the same thing with the multi-needle easy frames. Same thing, sticky backing on the back, the blue adapter arm that this attaches to looks just like this. Now, let me say this up front. Every set of easy frames that we sell, when we say it's a 7-piece set or a 4-piece set or a 12-piece set, what that means is you're getting 4 frames, 7 frames, 8 frames, 12 frames. The arms are automatically included. Unlike some of our competitors, they'll say it's an 8-piece set. In reality, there's 7 frames and 1 arm. We have to have the arm just to do it, so the arm's automatically included. So what makes ours any different than what's out there? I'm not going to tell you the story, and it is a very funny story, but I don't want to take the time to do it, about why we even came up with this. Let's just put it this way. There are 2 directions that people in this industry speak almost every day. They speak the X-axis, that's the machine, the arms moving left to right. They speak the Y-axis, that's front to back. And that's the only language that most people in this industry speak. They don't speak about Z, X, Y, and Z is the needle. Now imagine if what we're trying to get is terrific finished registration of our embroidery, what would it look like? Imagine a diving board going up and down like this, and you've got the needle trying to precisely place a stitch. Look at this. Can you imagine? Wouldn't it be a whole lot better if it was doing this? The reason these are called easy frames is because they are easy, okay? We have 2 large fluted knobs. I go back to carpal tunnel syndrome, arthritis. These are easy to loosen up, easy to tighten up, okay? When you're using our easy frames, please be sure when you put the frame in with the sticky backing on it, and I'm telling you some things now that a lot of people, well, let me give you another tidbit. On our website, and I'm not trying to get you to go and buy anything from us. In fact, totally the opposite. Go to our website and use it as a resource. We have like 44 video tutorials on there how to do a variety of projects. If you got single needle, you can watch the tutorial on single needle. If you got multi-needle, you can watch it on multi-needle. Yeah, we want to teach you how to do the projects, but much more than that, we want to teach you some things about your machine, okay? And most everything that you'll see is using the Durkee Easy Frames, okay? So some things about our frames. These are 3/16 of an inch thick, so are the arms. But they're very lightweight because they're anodized aluminum. Anodization is simply coating it to seal that surface, okay? One of the things we do, we put a label on every frame. And on that label, we tell you the sewing field. Now, what I said earlier about size, follow me. All machines are not the same. Our easy frames are made to work on all machines, commercial, light commercial, home machines. So when we say to you on this label that the sewing field of this particular frame I'm holding in my hand is 8x8, it is 8x8. Your machine may only stitch 7 7/8 by 7 7, but the capability of this hoop is 8x8. So I want to make that clear. The red label on our frame tells you what size you can do, okay? So with the easy frames, put the sticky backing on the back, centering notches on all 4 sides, line up your fabric, and away you go, okay? Watch the video tutorials because I promise you, almost without exception, we've had people that have had 10, 12, 14 years experience stitching that have called us or written us and said, you know what, that guy in that video, I thought there was only one way to trace the design. He taught me 3 different ways to trace designs with my machine. Those are the types of things that you'll learn from the video. So Come watch it, use us as a resource, and go back to Sewing Machines Plus and make your purchase, okay? So easy frames. And let's talk about how these came about and what the different packages are here. We started off, the most popular thing that we sell is the 7-piece set. The 7-piece set includes the blue adapter arm and 7 frames. Here are the sewing fields: 2x4, 2.5x4, 3x4, 5x4, 7x5, 8x8, and this funny looking one that we call a radius cap frame, okay? A lot of people use that frame for a variety of things, including the back of caps, if you don't have one of our cap frames. If you go to our website and watch those videos, watch the one on doing the belly on the stuffed animal. That hoop just happens to fit 100% perfect in the belly of that animal to stitch the kid's name or whatever you want to put on there. So that's the 7-piece set. The 8-piece set is exactly the same set, plus the 12x8, okay? So the 8-piece set is the 7-piece set plus the 12x8. Now, Blaine, I have 7 granddaughters. I don't have any grandsons. I told my granddaughters if they ever come home and find a toilet seat up, you're in trouble. I'm telling you, no little boys around, okay? One of my granddaughters came to me a few months back and she said, "Granddaddy, we got to go to the mall. There's something new that you got to see." And I said, "What is it?" She said, "It's a wonderful place called Build-A-Bear." And I said, "What's Build-A-Bear?" Now, people at home watching this right now, you're going to start laughing if you know what Build-A-Bear is, because you know where this is going. For those of you that don't know what Build-A-Bear is, let me explain it to you. Build-A-Bear is a retail store you can go into at the mall, and you can purchase a little bear for $9.95. And when you get to the counter, you'll find it's $99.95 because that bear just can't go out of there without the hat, the costume, the sunglasses, the lounge to sit in and all. It's absolutely the biggest retail phenomenon I've ever seen in my life. Take a $9.95 bear, you get to the counter, by the time you buy all the stuff to go with it, accessorize it, it's $99.95. I left that place and I said, "You know what? We've been doing just the opposite of that. We've been trying to force people to buy a 7-piece or an 8-piece set. Why shouldn't we let them build their own set of easy frames?" So that same basic concept in reverse, we created what we call the 4-piece Kickstart easy frames. It's a 4-piece set. It includes a 2x4, 5x4, 7x5, and 8x8, 4 most popular size frames. So when you get that home, number one, it's very easy on the pocketbook. But number two, when you get it home, if it satisfies all your needs, hallelujah, you're through. And you don't have 3 additional frames you don't need. But the flip side of that is, at your convenience, if you want to have additional frames, you can add any frame you want to add at any time. 1 at a time, 2 at a time. Some people, if you do a whole lot of left chest embroidery, you might say, "Hey, I need 2 or 3 of the 5x4s. You can buy whatever you want to buy, okay? So this is Build-A-Bear, if you will, with easy frames, a basic 4-piece set, and then you can add whatever you want to add, okay? If there's any questions about that, I'd be glad to address them before we move on. Anything at all, Blaine?
Is there any questions that y'all see, Kyle? We're looking right now, Brent, see if anybody's got any questions about that. If y'all do, chime in. What's that say? So they're asking, are those frames only for multi-needles?
Okay, the ones that I'm showing you right now are for multi-needle machines. The one that I showed you previously, these are single needle flatbed, single needle easy frames, okay? So 2 totally different categories. These are for the single needle flatbed machines, and then all of these are for the multi-needle flatbed machines, okay? Did that answer the question?
Yes, and then we got another one from Jeannie says, do any of the sets include the hat frame?
The sets do not, but gee, what a great question. Please stay with us, because at the end of the show, you're going to see that we have some packages that absolutely have both the easy frames and the cap frames. Great question, okay? Now, let me move on with the multi-needle easy frames just a little bit and fill you in on some other things that we have available for you. One of the other sets that we have, and I'm sorry I don't have it up here on display, but we have a 12-piece set. They say you went to the other end of the spectrum. You did a 4-piece beginner set. Now you've got what we call a master set of 12 pieces. Why would you do that? Because there's some people, and there's a lot of people out there that don't want to be called at 10:30 on Saturday night trying to do a project and they don't have the right size frame, or on a Sunday afternoon or whatever. They want to have the complete set at their disposal. So we've got a 12-piece set. And let me show you the additional frames that go with that set. You get the 8-piece set, plus this is the smallest frame we make. This is 1.5 by 4. And this, I bet everything I'm going to show you was made as a direct response to customer request, okay? So why a 1.5 by 4? the obvious is it will do a lot of shirt pockets, not all. And here's the thing that you got to think about with doing shirt pockets. Not only has the frame got to go in the pocket, but the sewing arm has to go in as well. So if you can fit the sewing arm and this frame in, you can do a pocket. It'll do a lot of pockets, but not all. Tons of tennis shoes, sides of tennis shoes, okay? Collars, cuffs, all types of little projects, great hoop, okay? Or great frame. The second one, there's a lot of people that like to do shirt sleeves and pant legs. This is a 3x8. Again, sewing field, 3x8. That's the second of the additional 4 frames that come in the 12-piece set. The next one, well, we call it the 5x8 because that's what it is. Our customers gave it its own name. It's called the onesie hoop. It's perfect for doing onesies. If you watch the videos on the website, the tutorials, you'll see that this is the exact frame that's being used, okay? The onesie hoop. The last one I'm going to show you, this was the hardest one to convince me to make. This one is, and I want to be very specific, this one's 12 inches wide, 4 inches deep, okay? People kept saying, make one wide, make it wide, shallow, da-da-da. Okay, well, the obvious is you could do duffel bags or long monograms on towels or shower curtains or stuff like that. And it hadn't quite convinced me that somebody said the magic words. Dog collars, karate belts. I said, okay, let me get that made. So those 4 frames are the additional 4 frames that make up the 12-piece set, okay? So those are the 12-piece set. Now, I've said a lot of stuff. Let me catch my breath and say one more thing real quick. I've told you the truth. I promise you I've told you the truth. My frames will not change the capability of your machine. A lot of people say, well, I've got a Persona PRS 100. My maximum sewing field is 8x8. So I'm going to get one of those frames that's bigger and I'll be able to stitch it. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Okay? It doesn't work that way. Well, for the most part, it doesn't work that way. We changed the rules, okay? A lot of people are going to enjoy hearing what you hear next. About a year and 3 or 4 months ago, we went to work on figuring out what could we do, because the number one request, if you've got a Persona PRS 100, the number one request is if I could just sew bigger, okay? If you've got a 6 needle machine, maximum 12x8 sewing field, if I could just sew bigger. So we went to work on it, and Blaine, we came up with an answer. And last January in Las Vegas, at the VDTA, SDTA, Vacuum Dealer, Sewing Dealer Trade Association, the great folks from Brother came over to our booth, and we're all good friends, and they've been wonderful to us, wonderful trade partners. And they came over and they said, have you got anything new that we haven't seen? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I do. I've just come out with a product that we're really excited about. We finished all the testing, and I explained it to them. I didn't even have one there to show them. And they said, as soon as you get back, send us one. We want to test it. And we did exactly that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to tell you that they made the decision instantly that not only did they want to have the product, but they wanted to have it exclusively. If you go to my website, you won't even see this on my website, and I'm the one that manufactures it, okay? This is 2 different sizes. This is an 8x14 multi-position sturdy frame. And the way it works, well, you'll see more in just a minute, but the way it works is in concert with software. Can't do it by itself. You can't just put it on the machine and stitch bigger. But as partners with the right software, you can do what's called a split design, where it takes your design, let's say an 8x14 design, and the software will literally split that design in half. A half and the B half, if you will, okay? And what happens is you put the hoop in, you stitch the A part, and when it finishes, it stops. You take the hoop out, turn it around, put it back in, and it stitches the bottom half. And folks, it's so accurate that if you do it correctly, if you follow the instructions, literally it will pick up with the next stitch. You will not be able to see where the split even occurs, okay? So we created that one for the Persona PRS 100. We just took you from 8x8 to 8x14, and I don't care what anybody says, that's pretty good stuff. Well, if you've got a 6 needle machine, instead of 12x8, how about 12x14, okay? Same exact way, it works exactly the same way, okay? Blaine, if I'm not mistaken, you probably have a video on this too, don't you?
Hey, we sure do, Brent. We'll show that video now, and then I've got some questions for you as soon as we come back.
If your system unit is set to inches, click on the IN on the page ruler to switch to metric. Click on the Application button and choose Design Settings. Select Multi-Needle Machine. Place a dot in front of Custom Size. Highlight the width and type in 190. Highlight the height and type in 370. From the Section Size for Hoop menu, choose 190 by 190. Touch OK. Next, you'll need to import your design. In the Integrated Sewing Attributes window, click on the Import tab. Import the design that you wish to use. Make any adjustments that you desire to the design. This design is in your sample files under various sew types. It's completely resizable. Once the design is ready, press Send and then Send to USB media. Select your USB drive. When the success message appears, click OK. Safely eject your USB flash drive and then take it to your embroidery machine. The design has automatically been split into 2 parts and is now ready to be used at the machine. Now that you've set up your design in P Design 11, it's time to set up the frame. Cut a piece of adhesive tearaway backing approximately 17¼ by 11 inches. Turn the hoop over so it's face down. Peel back the released paper from the back of the stabilizer. Slowly adhere the stabilizer to the back of the hoop. Adjust the position if necessary. Make sure the edges are secure. Turn the hoop right side up and then secure your project to the stabilizer. To support the frame, Brother recommends using either of these optional accessories, the flat table or the tubular support. This video shows it being used with a tubular support. Slide the tubular support onto the tubular arm of the embroidery machine. When it clicks into place, it is in the correct location. Gently pull from the front to extend the tubular support. Insert the Durkee frame into the embroidery arm. On the machine's screen, touch USB. Touch the thumbnail of the complete pattern. Touch side AA. Touch Set. Press the center up arrow until the design will not move any further. Touch Embroidery. Thread your machine and embroider the first half of the embroidery design. After the first half has embroidered, touch OK to embroider the next segment. Touch the design BA. This is the second half of the design. Touch Set. Touch Embroidery. Touch Rotate. Touch Rotate 90 degrees 2 times. Touch OK. Now that we have the design oriented correctly, it's time to align it. Remove the hoop from the machine and rotate it 180 degrees. Insert it back into the machine. Touch the starting point position key. Choose the bottom right point. Touch OK. Now it's time to line up the LED light with the alignment stitch that was stitched at the end of the first half of the design. Use the arrows to move the design. The LED light should be directly over the tie-off knot at the end of the line. To test the position, you can press the lock key and the scissors key. This will drop the needle to show you if you're in the correct place. If you need to adjust the position, press the forward back stitch key and then press 0. Adjust the design and then press the lock and the scissors key to test it again. Once the design is aligned, press lock and then start. If you don't wish to stitch the second basting stitch, you don't have to. You can press the forward back selection key and fast forward a color. When the design is finished embroidering, press Cancel to return to the home screen. Remove the hoop from the machine. Gently remove the basting stitches from the design and remove from the hoop.
Wow, that really makes a big difference on that persona, doesn't it, Brent? He's muted. Brent, we can't hear you. I think you're still muted, Brent. Okay, we lost sound there, Brent, for some reason. But anyway, y'all just saw that that multi-needle, the single needle persona where they can split the design. And I know there's a ton of questions coming in. What's making that happen is actually the PE design software that Brother has, and then Baby Lock has some software. It's called the Palette 11 palette software, and you can do those split designs in both of those softwares. So that's one of the things to keep in mind, is you can do both of those designs like that. And basically what it does, it enables you to split the design and embroidery it a lot larger than normal. So the Persona and the Baby Lock Alliance, their embroidery field is a little, it says 8x8, but what Brent was talking about, it's a little bit smaller than 8x8. What this does with his frame, along with that software, it makes you be able to do an 8x14, which was incredible. So if you already have like the palette 9 through 11 or a PE design 9 through 11, all you have to do is buy the frame if you have a Persona, and you can make it do that, or the Alliance. If you don't have the software and you have the Persona or the Alliance, we have a package online that you can buy and get the software along with the frame. So it is a really, really great thing. And Teresa, you're right, it is a game changer. It made a huge difference in that Persona machine, which, we're big fans of the Persona and the Alliance because of, Cindy Hogan talked on her show about the versatility of that machine and how it's just a rock solid machine. And I've always called them the premier hat machines of America. Well, now with that new hoop and that PE design where you can split design, it's probably the premier jacket machine. You could do large backs of jackets. So can we go back and see if we got Brent's audio back? So, hey, Brent, you got audio back?
Can you hear me now?
I got you now. Good. Back with us.
Good deal. I was kind of reading your lips. I'm sure you covered all this, but your PE design software, palette software, some people have Embellish, which is a popular brand of software. All of those do split. Any software that does split design will allow you to work with these two frames, okay? And
Perfect.
Blaine, can you still hear me?
Yes, I got you.
Okay. Something I said earlier, I want to go back to very quickly. When I showed you this cap, I said we used some other components. The cap frame, how did we do the stuff on the side? We did it with a simple easy frame, okay? Easy frame right inside the cap. That's how we did the side. So combining two products, that's how we made that cap. Now, Blaine, we got to do it quickly. If it's okay with you, Kickstart combo 4-piece set. How about let's give one away right now?
You know what, Brent? I don't think any of our customers would object to you giving product away. Let's give one of these away. We're going to give the 4-piece away. So, David, if we can pull a winner up, let's pull a winner and see who's going to win that. And again, whoever wins, send your name to contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com. and put in the header, I won in the title, and in the body somewhere, just tell us what you won. And then what I'll do is forward that right over to Brent, and he's going to ship it out to you. And I don't see the last name of that.
Coda Mia.
Coda Mia. So congratulations, Coda. You just won the 4-piece set. That's awesome.
Good deal.
So again, Coda, make sure you email us your shipping address to contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com, and just put in the header I won, and then put in there what you won, so we won't have to be so confused when we look at everything up. So that'd be great. So hey, Brent, I know that right now we have a couple specials, and if I could talk about what we've got going, especially that 4x4, the brand new one for the 4x4 machine. It fits the Baby Lock and Brother machines.
Yep.
Right now we have them. They're $129. And if David, can we have an overlay for that? There we go. So it's $129. It's normally $149. You're going to save $20. But also what you're going to do is we're actually throwing in a 10-piece set of the Femoplast to go with that. So that's an exclusive just for Sewing Machine Plus. And so y'all can get that. You're getting a little extra bonus when you buy that frame. And again, guys, there's 3 ways to order. You can call 800-401-8151 and speak to one of our sales agents. You can go to the website and order it, or you can just chat with one of our live chat agents we have standing by. And then are we doing the Google Sheets today too, Kyle?
Yep.
All right, so if you have any questions and you can't get through to the phone or the chat today, you can go on. Kyle's putting the link over to the right side of your screen in there in the chat that's going to have a link to our Google Sheets. And you can actually just put any question that you have, or if you're wanting to purchase something and having trouble getting through, just put it in there and put your contact information, your contact phone number, and that's a direct link to our call center. It's updated live. So basically what they're going to do, as soon as you put it in there, it goes live to them. As soon as they get off the phone, they're going to be giving you a call. So that's how we're doing that, because we're so busy right now on the phones and in chat. We don't want to miss any questions you have or anything that you want to purchase. We won't be able to help you out. So, hey, Brent,
Yes,
that's
sir.
a pretty good deal on that 4x4, is it not?
It's outstanding. And Blaine, if we have time, I'm going to go through the packages very, very quickly if you've got time.
Yes, let's go through the packages.
All right, and let me tell you folks why you want to hear the next 5 or 6 minutes, okay? Because at the end, Blaine has no idea. I'm going to give away a package with a value of over $500, okay? So stay with us. Here we go. Single needle. I said earlier, we have our easy frames available in packages, okay? And in the packages, if you go to the website and look at the packages, there are 6 different ones. Here's what drives the package for your machine. Super simple question. What is the largest hoop your machine will use? If the sewing field for your machine, the largest hoop is an 8x12, the package you will want, the biggest hoop will be an 8x12. If you have a Dream machine or a Destiny machine and it's a 9.5x14, this is package 1. That's what you want, okay? If you've got a Solaris or a Luminaire, package 6, simply go through and find the package that has the largest frame that your machine will take, and that's the package for you, okay? So that's that. Someone asked very early in the program, do we have a package that includes both the frames and the cap frame? This is the single needle power pack 1. What we did with this particular one is for specifically the Destiny 2, the Solaris,
Dream.
the Dream and the Dream 2, the Destiny and the Destiny 2. Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate the help. This package includes the 4 single needle easy frames plus a bonus single needle easy frame plus the cap frame, okay? Now, if you have the Solaris 2, Luminaire, or Luminaire 2, the single needle power pack 2. Once again, the 4 easy frames, the bonus frame, and the cap frame all in one package, okay? In multi-needle, PRS 100, Alliance, 6 needle, 10 needle, okay? We have what we call the ASK or MSK. ASK stands for Alliance Starter Kit, MSK Multi-Needle Starter Kit. Just order the one for your machine. It includes multi-needle cap frame, 7-piece easy frames, and 3 of our most popular traditional tubular hoops, okay? Those are the hoops that you use for doing some real heavy commercial type work. All those are in the package, okay? Then, the 4-piece kickstart combo I talked about earlier and showed it to you. That's what that combo looks like. The 7-piece, that's what that package looks like. The 12-piece I mentioned, boy, does this look like a lot of metal. That's what we call it for an old man. That's heavy metal, right? That's a lot of metal, okay? Now, our most popular package by far for the multi-needle machines, we call the multi-needle power pack. And what does it include? What the customer asked for earlier. Do you have a combo that has both the easy frames and the multi-needle cap frame? Folks, there it is. That's for either the 6 or the 10 needle machine. That's our most popular package. Last but not least, if you have a 10 needle machine, this is that exact same package. We call it the 10 needle power pack. It's the exact same package plus our 14 by 14 sturdy frame. Now you can use 14 by 14 jumbo frame on your 10 needle machine. You've got that sturdy frame, okay? So those are all the packages that we've got that I have time to show you now. Retail value for some of them is well over $500. So Blaine, here's what I want to do. If you'll draw a winner, then what I want you to do is have that winner, when they submit their information to you, they need to tell you what type machine they've got. I don't want to send them a multi-needle power pack if they've got a Luminator. That doesn't make sense. So tell us what machine you got, and we're going to send you the very best package we've got for your machine. How's that?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Let's do it. That's over $500, Blaine. Give it away.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And there's our winner. Last name, guys? Cross?
Marsha Frost.
Marsha Cross.
Congratulations.
Frost.
Yay.
So congratulations, Marsha. Make sure that you email us at contest@SewingMachinesPlus. Put in the title, I won, and then in that body of that email, make sure you put your shipping address, and then tell us what machine you have, and then I'll work with Brent, and we'll see if we can get you something sent out to you that'll fit your machine. So how's that? Does that work, Brent?
Outstanding. Yes, sir.
Well, hey, Brent, I think we're at the end of our hour. I wish we had another hour with you, just because this has been pretty entertaining, hearing all the things that you have to say about the hoops. And oh my gosh, we have a little bit of something for everybody. I'm telling you, there's so many things to go through, and I know we scratched the surface. But before we go, I got to ask you a question, because I get this question all the time, and I know somebody out there's probably got this question. When you're using the sticky back stabilizer on those frames to stick your garment, and I know that a lot of people will try to use that a couple times and then they take it off. What is the best method? Because I know I've messed around with it. It's got glue on it, and it kind of gets glue on the frames. What's the best way to take care of those frames, and what's the best way to, how long do you keep it on there? Tell us a little bit about maintenance on that.
All right, absolutely. The most common question that we're ever asked is, how do you get that sticky stuff off the back? All right, I'm gonna speak probably for a minute in time. Listen to this up front. The last thing I tell you in the last 10, 15 seconds is going to be by far and away the most important thing that I say. So hang on. So let's start at the beginning. If you'll take some orange oil, citrus oil, if you're like me and you've been around a long time, you probably have seasoned the good old cast iron frying pan. All you're going to do is take some orange oil or citrus oil and rub on the back of the frame where that sticky backing is going to go, okay? So rub some orange oil on it, some citrus oil, and then wipe it off. When you wipe it off, it's going to leave just a little light film on the frame. You're seasoning the frame, okay? Put your sticky backing on there, and by all means, again, watch those tutorials. Don't dare wrap it around the top. You'll just make the biggest mess in the world. Sticky backing will hold just fine on the bottom. So put your sticky backing on there and do your job, okay? Then when you go to clean it off, if you've left it on there for some time, the longer you leave it on there, the harder it's going to be to get it off. Here we go. You can use anything you want to use to get it off. First of all, tear it off what's left, wad up the ball, and just tap and get the rest of the residue off. If it's been on there a long time, you can use a plastic paint scraper, what's Mr. Clean pad, what's that thing called?
Magic eraser.
Magic eraser. You can use a magic eraser. Anything that's plastic, just never use anything metal. Goof off, Goo Gone, any of those products will work in getting it off. Here comes that last 15 seconds. You ready? The most important thing I'm going to tell you is this. When you finish doing your stitching on that job, not 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, tomorrow, the minute you finish with the job, if you will take your garment off and slowly, if you've seasoned it, slowly peel it off, 99% of it will come off. Wad it into a ball and dab it around the other, and you're done, ready to go. Do another one. The longer you leave it on there, the harder it is to come off, okay? And if need be, if you're like some people I know whose hand might be in the air, that's left some on there, you can literally take it and put it in the sink overnight with a little Dawn let it soak, and that'll loosen up some of that glue and make it easier to get off. Again, plastic paint scraper, plastic Brillo pad, nothing steel, nothing metal. You'll tear up that anodization, you'll scratch it off, you don't want to do that, okay? But again, the most important thing I can tell you is, as soon as you finish the project, slowly peel it off, and you'll find 99% of your problems are gone, okay?
Hey, that's a great explanation there, Brent. And hey, one of the things I wanted to pass on too, a tip that Cindy Hogan had gave me is, you talked about actually taking that stabilizer and folding it over, and some people do that. Instead of doing that, she takes that frame and lays it on the stabilizer and draws it out and cuts it out to where it fits the frame exactly, so there's no overhang. And I always thought that was a great tip.
I keep going back to it, and I'm sorry, 44 video tutorials. In every single tutorial, you're going to see exactly what Blaine just said. The easy frame gets put down on a piece of backing, a roller cutter you take and cut it away, trim it away. You've got a piece that fits the bottom of the frame. That's exactly the right way to do it.
All right, that's great information. And guys, if y'all want to go check out Brent's website, it's just Durkee. It's Durkee Hoops, or is it D Hoops?
It's DurkeeHoops.com.
Yeah, DurkeeHoops.com. So it's DurkeeHoops.com. You can go, and I'm telling you, he has hundreds of videos on his website that you can go check out. And again, every product you see on his website, we sell it. And so you can always come and we'll help you out, and we'll sell to you. And we also answer any questions you may have too. And if we don't have the answer, I know who to call to get them.
and once you've used our website, go to Blaine to buy, because he's got a better deal. I promise you. Okay.
Well, and Brent, I like to brag a little bit. We are the largest dealer for Durkee frames in the world.
Absolute fact.
Because I got a plaque that you sent me that proves it.
You're exactly right. You are the largest single dealer in the country, or actually in the world. That's correct. So
anyway, hey, Brent, thank you so much for being on our show today. And I know our customers love the Durkee frames, and they love you. And we were excited about having you on the show. And I tell you, it lived up to the bill, everything you talked about today. And as always, it's a pleasure, getting to talk to you. And hopefully we'll get to do this real soon again.
I hope so. And Blaine, I don't believe in teasers. I would never, ever do that. Never on your show. But I wonder what it would be like if there was such a thing as a Durkee quilt frame.
I think that might be something that would be cool. And I'd like to get a commitment out of you right now. If you do come out with something like that we do the world premiere launch on our show.
Seems like a fair exchange. That's just assuming we happen to come up with something like that. I'll go to work on it, okay?
I love it. I love it. The new innovation, a new product, and y'all can get to see it right here when we have Brent back on.
Sounds great. Blaine, thank you, and thank everybody so very much. Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. Happy holiday to y'all over there, and thanks, Danielle, for the behind the scenes over there. We appreciate all what you do too. So, guys, y'all heard all the Durkee things today, and again, we have all the Durkee products on our website. Go on there and check them out. If you have any questions, make sure you give us a call or go online and chat. We have 3 ways to order. You can call 800-401-8151. You can go to SewingMachinesPlus.com, and we have live chat agents can help you there, standing by. And then again, if you can't get through to the chat, or you can't get through to the phones today, because it's been really, really busy because of the holidays, we don't want you to have to wait. We are making our audience today a priority. If you go through the Google Sheets, and Kyle's putting the link over to the right side of your screen in the chat, you can go follow that Google link, just put your name in there, what you're interested in, and it's updated live. It goes right to the call center. They see them on the sheets come up, and as soon as they get off the phones, they can make those phone calls and call you back. So, hey, great show so far, man. Way to kick it off, Brent from Durkee. And I hope y'all really enjoyed that. And I hope you got some information. I learned something from him every time he's on the show, or every time I talk to him, I learned something. He has got so many things. And one thing I love about Durkee is they're always trying to come out with the next thing. They're very innovative. He's working extremely hard to come out with new products and to help all these machines that's out there. And not only just the new machines that are coming out, he's always working trying to get machines that you may already have. And the perfect example is that 4x4 hoop that he launched today. That thing, how many people out there right now have a machine that have a 4x4 embroidery field, a brother or baby lock? Because I can tell you, we have sold thousands of them. And so now you have a machine that you can actually put a hoop on and do a hat. I mean, that is incredible how that thing works. And there it is. Guys, it's $129 today. That's a $20 savings. It's normally $140. And we're going to throw in absolutely free a 10-pack of it's got 10 pieces in it, right, Kyle? 10-piece pack of the Femoplast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 10-piece pack of the Femoplast. We're going to throw in absolutely free along with that savings of $20. So it's $29.99, absolutely shipped free to your door. So, hey, if y'all got a 4x4 embroidery field frame out there, you got to get one of these and try it. It's going to make you where you can do hats on there. You can do onesies and bibs and all kinds of things. So it's pretty cool. So, guys, before we bring our next guest up, hey, we've got Nathan Erznoznik from Grace is going to be here. And we got some great specials on some Grace product today. And so you don't want to miss that. But first, I wanted to remind everybody that we've got our scavenger hunt, our Christmas song scavenger hunt going on. It started yesterday. And basically, it's the phrase that pays. So what we're doing, just so everybody will know, is we're giving some clues out and for a Christmas song. And it's some popular Christmas songs. And what you do when we give you the clue, you just write those down all 4 days. And then on Friday, after you hear that clue, we want you to email to contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com your answers for the 4 songs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take all the correct answers we get, and we're going to draw a name out of those correct answers. And some lucky winner out there is going to win a 4x4 embroidery machine and sewing machine combo that is a brother. It's an LB5000S, and it stands for Star Wars, the S does. And what it has some overlays that you can put over the machine to make it a Star Wars machine. But if you don't like Star Wars, you don't have to use them, and just keep it a plain brother machine. So we're going to give that away to the winner. But David, we could pop that back up there again. I want everybody to see our scavenger hunt, the Christmas song. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the clues from yesterday, and I'm going to give you the clue for today. And so now you're going to have 2 songs. And if you guessed yesterday, this is the clue again, and you're going to also get the clue for today, and we're going to say it again. So these are for popular Christmas songs out there. So this Christmas song character, this is the number 1 from yesterday, number 1 clue, is a jolly man going somewhere with a purpose. So it's a jolly man going somewhere with a purpose. You have to guess the song that's referring to. The second clue, today's clue for the day's song, this Christmas song character doesn't use GPS, but travels in the night with their own light. So there you go. That's our clue for today for that song. So we got 2 songs out there now. And so y'all guess those things, write them down somewhere, keep a hold of them. And then Friday, we're going to announce our last clue. Tomorrow, we'll have another clue for another song. And Friday, we'll do that last one. So you'll have a total of 4 songs that you can try to guess. And then you will enter that right after the show on Friday. And you'll email those guesses to contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com. And we'll pick a winner to win that machine. So, hey, guys, we've already had some great giveaways already from Brent Taylor. And we got a lot of stuff to give away today at the end of the show, too. But, hey, let's go and talk to Nathan Erznoznik. He's at Grace, and we got some great product today. So, Nathan, I'm so excited you're here today, and I am ready, and I'm fired up to see what you got to show us today.
Hey, Blaine, thanks for having me on the show. It's always wonderful to be able to be a part of, the Sewing Machine Plus experience, the family, all the things that you guys do in order to really make such an impact out there with that sewing, and specifically with us, that quilting community. So thanks for letting me participate. We are really excited about what we have going on today. And Blaine, maybe I can just come back to you and say, I'm just looking at the comments. It's wonderful. It's amazing. Obviously, like you're talking about there with Brent, there's been a lot of great information. And I just can't tell you thanks again enough. And I know there's a big team that makes this happen, but thanks for letting Grace Company be a part of this. Thanks for thinking about us. We're excited to share some things with the customers. But coming back to you, Brent, thanks a lot. Blaine, thanks a lot for allowing us to be a part of this week.
Well, thanks. Thank you for coming on, Nathan. And I know, we've got a great partnership with Grace, and we work real well together, and we love all the support we get from y'all. And so, today we've got some really good pricing and specials on some Grace products, and we're going to highlight some of those products today and let everybody know what the specials are. And then you're going to talk a little bit about going a little bit more detail on things, and we're going to have, ask it out. If anybody's got any questions out there, make sure you just ask the question. We're going to try to bend Nathan's ear a little bit today and get some answers. And then I'm going to go over some of the specials that we have. And again, we're going to be here to try to answer any questions you may have about the products that we show today. So Nathan, the first product we're going to show today, which one are you going to show first?
I think hopefully we've got part of that 15R, that machine, and we're going to talk a little bit about a couple frames as well. If that's something that you have there, is that something we have available to talk about first?
That was what I wanted to talk about, was that 15R, and I wanted to talk about the frame options we have for it. And also I wanted, when we talk a little bit about the hoop frame today, I want you to, talk about, I know, some of our shows previously we've talked about the hoop frame, but I also want people to know that not only will that 15R fit on it, but I want you to kind of talk a little bit about, their domestic machine they have sitting at home right now. They could use that and just put it on that frame.
Absolutely.
But if they wanted something just a little bit better than their existing machine at home to do, quilting with, the 15R is the perfect combination.
That's a wonderful thing to bring up, Blaine. And again, I would like to open this up to all of your viewers today. First and foremost, very open to hear those questions. I thought about a few things, Blaine, as we're looking at part of what Grace Company has done. A lot of people, if they think about Grace Company, I do think they think about frames. We have been heavily continuously working on solving some big challenges that the quilters have out there with the frames. And I love the fact that you bring up, we do have a lot, and I will demonstrate some of those on ways that you can start even with your domestic machines. So Blaine, thank you very much for bringing that up. I thought maybe I could kind of throw this out to our audience and talk about a few things that really start allowing a person who's maybe working with their domestic machine to think about what might be a transition. Why might they think about potentially a slightly larger machine? What kind of frame system might best work with that type of machine? And so, Blaine, I wanted to share some of those things. Out there, if I were to ask a question to our audience and have them think about the process of quilting, oftentimes they think about some of the struggles and the frustrations on holding and managing the fabric, pushing that around on the throat of the machines. We also find that a lot of those customers, once they start quilting, our quilters out there, they're wanting a little more freedom. They're wanting more space in that throat in order to do bigger patterns and even more potentially intricate patterns. And so that's one of the things I'm really excited about pointing out. And then outside of that, letting people know that really part of this process can make quilting a little more comfortable. I like to use the word freedom, that it actually helps provide freedom for those individuals that use frames and machines as part of the quilting systems. I also like to talk about, as I've used these, I've had a chance to quilt. I've quilted about 7 or 8 quilters. And yes, I always joke that I've been considered a closet quilter because I know quite a bit about getting the wood block out and pounding your seams flat in order to help that all work through your machine. But enjoyable is another word, Blaine. So I want to kind of talk, and we're going to show some of these features and these functions that make quilting, again, more enjoyable, help you feel a little more creative, make it easier, make that process seem a little bit more simple, a little more comfortable from you. And so with it, I'm going to kind of move over, and we're going to start with our 15-inch machine. We're going to call this one the 15R. This is our most popular machine that we sell. When people look online and they're on your website and they're trying to decide what type of a Grace comp or what kind of a frame system to buy, this becomes a very quick decision because of several things. And so I'm going to point that out. We're going to talk a little bit about the machine, about some of the features that it has. I'm going to briefly talk about this frame. And Blaine, to your point, I'm going to kind of also talk a little bit about a frame I have here in the back so that you can understand that you don't have to have oodles of room. You don't have to have a lot of space in order to experience quilting in your home. With that, maybe I can kind of just talk a little bit about questions that you might ask. If you're out there and you're thinking, hey, if I'm going to start quilting, really what tools should I consider? What size frame might I think about? And let me answer a couple of those and then we'll move to the machine. I always ask people, how big are your quilts? Are you doing wall hangings? Are you doing throws? Are you doing queen quilts, king quilts? And those are some things to ask, because some frames, depending on their size, might limit you, and others might open up the door to do all size quilts. And so think about the size of your project. That's an important piece to think about. The second thing I like to talk about is, if you're doing your projects also, how much space do you have? I always joke, Blaine, and you know, when we talk about some of our frames, I always say you don't have to get rid of the dining room table. You don't have to go ahead and really commit a full room. There are options that let you start in a space that's much smaller than that and can provide you with a lot of those nice conveniences that even some of the most expensive professional systems can give you. So think about how big your quilts are. How much space are you willing to use as part of this? And in fact, if we were to look at that, let me kind of point that out. This is one of our most popular combinations, and this is what we call our Q-Zone Queen frame. And again, with the 15R, this frame is right around 8 feet wide, and people need about 4 feet from front to back in order to utilize the machine as they work through quilts. People love this style. I call this a roller frame because the fabric actually wraps around the rail. I'll go ahead and loosen this so you can kind of see that part of this process, that this actually rolls. And by rolling this fabric, this is how we move the quilt into the throat of the machine, by rolling this. So I'm going to lock the ratchet back into place. We're going to go ahead and you're going to see that I can tighten this up. And so this process provides a no-based quilting structure. And a lot of people would love that. If you've ever had to lay your quilts out and you're trying to find a big enough space to pin them all together, you don't need to do that on a frame like this, because it actually holds all of your layers of your fabric. If you can see the red here goes underneath, and I'm not sure if we can get a close-up on this a little bit. You can get that backing layer. Then you end up putting your batting on top. And then we have our top layer fabric that sits here. And then again, this rests and then rolls around our rails. And so this process really makes it very convenient for people to not have to worry about basting. Now, outside of that, one of the things I want to kind of talk about is, well, what if I maybe don't have this kind of space? Quickly, again, this frame at 8 feet, you are limited, and the fabric does need to fit inside of the rail. If you'll notice, as the machine were to move down, it would end up only being able to go to the left and the right. And with this frame being 8 feet wide, we usually recommend and would say that you can only do a quilt up to right around 82 inches. So if you're thinking, well, Nathan, I don't have a lot of room, but I still might want to do king size quilts, or I don't want to be limited, I'm going to kind of have us just quickly move over to this camera here that we have. This frame here is what we call that Q-Zone hoop frame. And it actually is a little bit narrower. And so this frame is about 4.5 feet wide by about the same depth. And you'll notice that I have a very similar machine on here. And I'm going to come back and we'll talk about a couple more features here in just a minute. But this frame does not limit you. So this one actually allows you to use we say it's about the size of a medium-sized desk. So you're not having to sacrifice too much space, but you can actually do any size quilt you want to do. So that's one of those great things. So again, these are some things to consider as you're deciding, if I'm going to be getting into this, what might that mean? What size frame might work best for me? And later on, Blaine, in the show, we're going to talk about a step even above this, which kind of moves more into the professional realm, on machines like 21 inches, 19 inches, etc. So, but this is a great thing to think about. How big are your quilts? How much space do you want? What size projects are you looking to do on those? And then the next question really becomes part of that machine. What machine do I want to use? And again, we're going to talk here about the 15. And I think, Blaine, one thing that was really good that you brought up is I'm going to grab this and talk about this really briefly. I'm going to kind of put this right here for a second and see if we can kind of show everybody part of what this is. Now, Blaine, on your site as well, I know that you offer both of these frames as options with some other specific domestic machines. And I like to point that out because this is something that would allow you, this carriage allows you to put your own machine on the surface of this, and then you get to move it around like you would the mid and the professional long arms. And so I'm gonna kind of sit this right here. This carriage does work with either one of these frames. And I'm gonna quickly grab here our domestic machine. I'm gonna kind of show you, if you have a domestic machine that you're using at all, this machine actually can sit on top of these carriages. Now I'm not gonna put this here, but it does sit right here on top of these carriages. And again, this carriage then can ride around behind the frame and allow us to go ahead and move your machine around. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of put that back under here for a second, Blaine, and we'll come back to that for a minute. Blaine, as we look at these, I would encourage customers who are viewing and watching, you have a lot of really good information that pertains to the Q-Zone hoop frame. So this smaller size frame, and you also have a lot of great information that talks about this queen frame as well. Right now, Blaine, I know that you have some specials, and one of the reasons we sell so many of these 15s is because right now, and I believe with your special, that you have a really great offer. If somebody were to buy a machine like this, that you're including a free option, I believe. And I'm going to come back and talk a little bit more about the features of this. But Blaine, why don't you share with us, what are some of the specials you have going in regards to a machine like this currently on your website?
Well, I'm glad you're asking that, Nathan. We do. We have a great special right now on that 15R, and you get your choice of the frame. So David, if we could, I think we got an overlay we can show everybody right there. That we got it right now. It's $37.99. Great price, and you're getting your choice of frame on that. You can either get the hoop frame, or you can get that queen frame. And so they get their choice. It's $37.99. Guys, this is normally $5,000. What a great savings on this. And this is actually our most popular machine that we sell when it comes to quilting machines. And we sell a ton of these, as you know. And the 15R is just a great machine to get into quilting. And a lot of people, they don't want to make that jump from a domestic machine up to like a big, 26-inch or 20-inch quilting machine with a big 10 or 12-foot frame. So a lot of times they want to get into something that's not, $20,000. They want to get into something, inexpensive. And I'm telling you guys, to get into quilting, this is probably the most inexpensive way you can do it to get a really good quality machine and a great frame. So that's our special, Nathan. Right now it's $37.99. And again, guys, if you call in, all of our staff are experts on quilting. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves at Sewing Machines Plus, is all of our employees are extremely well trained on the long arms, on frame selection, even on robotics. So if you have any questions about quilting machines, they're going to answer them for you. So call 1-800-401-8151. You can go on our website, speak to one of our live chat agents, or you could also just fill out the Google Sheets link. Kyle's putting that link in the chat to the right of your screen there, and it goes right into the call center. It's updated live. So if y'all can't get through to the 800 number or the chat, you can always just fill that Google Sheets link out, and they'll get right in there to them so they can give you a call. So all right, Nathan, that's our special, and so I just want to keep moving on. We were talking about some great things here.
Yeah, if you're good, I'd like to go ahead, and Blaine, I couldn't help say that better. You did an amazing job. This is really one of those ideal places to begin with. If you're not quite sure where to start or how to start, this machine is that friendly machine. This machine does have some of those very simple features that really give you some great experiences. So I'm going to go ahead and point out a couple of things. One thing that's really wonderful is the ergonomic handles. If you're going to be working with the machine and moving it around, it's really great to make sure that your hands fit around that. Blaine, we take a lot of time. We went out and we pulled a whole lot of quilters, and we did a lot to make sure that these really fit and feel just amazing when you hold on to them. And then you'll also notice we have these raised buttons. These raised buttons really help give the consumer a know-how of where they're at. So when they're moving this around, if they need to turn the machine on or off, they can feel that button right there to turn that on and off. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this on. We just use this right button right here. So when I push this button, this machine is then activated. And as I move this around, one of the amazing things this machine has is a stitch regulation. And for those that might not know what the stitch regulation is, that actually will speed the machine up automatically, slows down that machine so you don't have to worry about the stitch length. It does it all for you. And so Blaine, I'm going to turn this on and show you. What we do is we can turn this on and you'll see how light this is. This doesn't take a whole lot. It doesn't require much effort at all. Lets you have any control you want. And as this machine sews, it will speed up and slow down so that you can have complete control over your quilting experience. And so this is one of the biggest things that customers want to know is, hey, Grace Company, if we're going to be buying a machine, is it possible or can they help manage and create equal stitches for me all the time? And yes, that's one of the reasons, Blaine, that this machine is so successful is because it has that stitch regulation. It has 4 modes. It has a base mode, a manual mode, a cruise mode, and this precise mode that I just demonstrated that makes quilting even easier. Another great thing is I'm a tall person. The frames that we have, we can lift those and we can lower those. So we can actually stand or sit at these particular frames. And I'm a tall guy. I like to be able to take this screen and make sure that I can see what mode it's in and when it's on and when it's off. Really quickly, as we kind of go through some of this, people often ask, well, if I want the machine to have a smaller stitch or a bigger, is that possible? Yes, that's possible with an up and a down. We can increase those. We have a way to select and work through the different menus. And then this also has one of those. It's a fun thing to do is how many stitches are you putting to each one of your projects? And so the screen takes track and helps you manage and understand what the stitch count is and what you might be spending as per hour on your quilts as well. So those are some really, really fun features. Blaine, outside of that, if you're using a domestic machine, one of the things we have found is that once you start moving that machine around, is that you start to move it around a lot faster than you're used to, and you start sewing and quilting more than you ever were doing in the past. And one of the great things is that this machine has the large M-class bobbin, and I'll see if we can kind of get a close-up on this. I like to point this out. These bobbins are 3 times larger than the machines, the bobbins on the domestic machines. And so it actually will last 3 times as long when the person is quilting on their surface and on their project. And you'll also notice right here on the top, we do have a built-in bobbin winder. So that kind of help is a way to bring a consumer from the way they're used to winding their bobbin on their domestic machines to do that same process here on the mid-arm machines. And it's a very high-speed bobbin winder. It works quick. It works separately. So you don't have to worry about working the machine, but you can just turn it on and use it to wind all the bobbins you want. The other thing that's really fun, Blaine, is we actually have 2 thread stands. I like to do that if I'm going to do a couple different colors on my project. It's nice to have that thread just immediately available so that we can just switch out that thread and move into quilting a new color and a new space. With that, Blaine, I know again that your site has a lot of great information. There's a lot of great ways for consumers to be able to find out more information. It sounds like you have some of your professionals available. I like to talk about your team also as being incredibly knowledgeable on what system does work best for your customers. And so I really love that. With that, I'm going to point out one quick thing before we move to the hoop frame. And then Blaine, I'm going to come back to you again to talk about some of the, again, how amazing the special is at $37.99. Just so everybody knows, again, this machine is a $4,500 machine. The frame itself is a $1,600 frame. And what Blaine's doing, what Sewing Machines Plus is doing is if you buy this machine on sale at $37.99, you can choose the queen frame, or you can also choose, the Q-Zone hoop frame. And so you get your selection of a free frame when you purchase the machine. So that's an amazing deal, being able to select either one of those. Blaine, do you have any thoughts on that and why that makes such a great deal for your customers?
Yeah, Nathan, and that's a great point. The biggest thing I look at, we're giving them a choice of that frame because it comes down to the size. If you just can't accommodate, we used to joke, and this joke at trade shows, we used to say it comes with the sledgehammer when you buy a big frame because you have to knock the wall out.
Always the joke, right? Do we need to build on? Do we need to move something? Maybe you got to get rid of a couple kids, right? Yeah. So no, we don't need to do that.
With a hoop frame, yeah, that hoop frame is small enough that it can take, you can put it in a corner of a room somewhere, and it's not going to take up a lot of room, and you can get into quilting. But if you do have enough room that you can go to a bigger frame, we want to say, okay, you can pick the queen frame if you do have a room to accommodate it. So that's one of the things that we want to do, is make sure that, because if you're just buying your first quilting machine, it can be intimidating. And so we want to make this extremely easy for you. And I'm telling you, Nathan, you and I have worked many, many trade shows, and I actually did my first quilting. I've quilted at shows and just for demonstration purposes, but I've never made anything. And this year I actually we sell these ready to sew quilting kits that you can buy, and all the pieces are already pre-cut. So all you have to do is sew them out. And so I sewed all the pieces together, put it on a long arm and quilted it out, and made my first table runner. And just to try to show people it's so easy that I can even do it with no experience to make anything. And that's kind of the way I talk about this Grace 15R. And you can get into this thing not knowing anything about quilting and really do a good job with it because of that stitch regulation. It makes it so easy. It's like it's power steering to drive it. It is so easy to move around.
That's a great way to put it. Incredibly light, right? It helps you feel like you have more control. I love that part of it as well. So I think that this makes quilting more enjoyable. I kind of brought that up at the first. Gives you more freedom, right? I think that it's more comfortable. It's smoother. It's easier. It just actually, I always tell all the quilters out there, just be prepared. I know you probably have 1, 2, 5, 10 unfinished projects out there. You're going to be able to get through those, and it'll allow you to give away more of those as gifts. And you're going to find that you'll be able to finish more of your own personal quilts, which is also very rewarding as well, Blaine. So
it is. And again, I want to remind everybody out there, this package for the 15R, it's $37.99, free shipping right to your door. And it's going to come with that choice. You can either get that quilt, that queen frame that Nathan was just standing by, and then it has that hoop frame that's right behind him. And the hoop frame, Nathan, do you know the exact sizes of the hoop frame? And
I do. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I was looking at a few of the comments, and let me answer some of these so that everybody can feel a little more comfortable. First and foremost, Blaine, your site has a lot of great information. They do have the physical dimensions. I always like to talk about, if you're looking for a space and this hoop frame is something you're trying to understand, will this fit? I would like to say the frame itself is physically 4.5 feet wide. I would recommend an additional 3 inches on each side. So you want to find a space that's 5 feet wide in order to push this or have room around this. From front to back, you're going to want 4 feet of space. And I say that because with the middle arm machine, that machine moves from the front of the frame to the back. So it works from the front to the back. And with that, that machine kind of sticks off the back. So you want 4 feet. You can get casters. And so if you're not necessarily wanting to have this out from the wall, you can use and buy those as an optional accessory to push that back against the wall. And then you're going to want space. In fact, I brought this chair out just to kind of show customers that one of my favorite ways to use the hoop frame is to sit down in front of it, so that I'm relaxed, because I know that when we're sewing sitting down. You can sit in front of this and you can have control completely over the machine. And again, yes, it's height adjustable, so I can lower this up a little bit or raise it. And so again, that 4.5 to 5 feet wide, you're going to want right around the 4 feet from front to back. And then if you're going to quilt, you're going to want some space for you to be in front of that as well. Other people, Blaine, were asking, how about working from the back with pantographs? Yes, you can work from the back. There are several optional accessories that they're going to find on your site as well. Table inserts, lasers for tracing the pantographs and the different paper templates out there. And then I'm going to grab a couple others here really quick. These are a couple other things that really make it a great way to start. And again, these are optional, and you have these as available accessories with those machines. And so this is what we call a ruler base. The ruler base here is something that sits and it goes underneath the throat of the machine here. So this is something that ends up going underneath the fabric. And then this allows us to use templates to trace. And then you can also buy, we have different type of accessory feet. So you have 3-foot kits, and we also have a couple different kits out there that have 9 with couching, different ones for different type of ruler work, offset and echoing feet. And so Blaine, coming back to that, you can get started and the system's wonderful, but you can always accessorize it when you're ready to do more and you're feeling more comfortable and you're looking to be able to do things in other ways, the systems continually expand with your capabilities and your skill set as you continue to improve them as well. So I think that's really fun to have. I wanted to bring a couple quilts out really quick just to show everybody. We're going to do a quick zoom in because I think that one of the great things from our customers is, well, what are some of the projects that might have been done? This one here is one that Carla, our head of education, made, and this is her pineapple quilt. And I love to show this. This one here is one that she just did all by hand. And this particular one, you can do it on either one of the frames. This one, she did do it on this little hoop frame behind me. So I'm going to kind of put this one here behind me. So she did complete this one here on this particular frame. This one, we do work through this in zones. So Blaine, on this one, we'll sew through a section. Once we zoom and we sew through a section, what we do is we scoot that fabric. We scoot the fabric across our frame, and then we re-clip it back on. In fact, I can pull a clip out here, but these just clip on. It's very easy to help hold that fabric on there. So again, we can quilt through this. I like to show that one. I'm going to show you this one, and this is a little bit of a surprise piece as well that we'll talk about a little bit later. But with this machine, you can also add an accessory that will automatically quilt it for you. So that's an option too. And I just like to show it because this one was also done on that smaller one. I think it's a beautiful job. This one was done with an automated system. So this one made it a little bit easier for her because it did the work for her on this. And so I just like kind of to show several of the different type of projects you can do on this size quilting frame as a whole. Blaine, one thing before we maybe transition, I want to quickly reiterate with everybody the functions that they have. This particular frame right here has been a huge, huge success because you can take pretty much most any domestic machine and set it here on this trolley. It's the exact same system that our 15 runs on. This replaces that handlebar system, and it's what you use to move around the machine on this. And so this, with its width, and it's from front to back, and it's very open, allows all sorts of sizes of machines to simply sit here on this trolley in order to use this system with what they might already be using at home with their domestic machines. So it's a wonderful opportunity. I'd go back and just plain say, thanks for having such an amazing promotion on this at that $37.99 with this stitch regulated machine here. It is and does wonders. It again makes it easier, reduces the frustration and the struggle of moving all the fabric around. And either one of these will give you access to have an amazing time in finishing your own quilts.
Hey, Nathan, you're exactly right. And one of the things that, I really love about that hoop frame is the clamps, how easy that you can do quilts on it. And, a lot of people don't realize, they look at it and go, that thing's only 4.5 feet wide, but you can do a king size quilt on that extremely easy.
It is. And I'll maybe take this off. I'll just show everybody just briefly how easy this is. The system has been designed so that, again, regarding your skill level, it doesn't require a high skill level. We have a lot of really, really good videos that helps the consumers, the quilters, know how to put the quilt together and how to put it on. I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to ask and see if we can get our camera to zoom in on this. Can we zoom in on this so we can see this? This is super unique. Look at that shape. That shape has been designed very specifically for what? We got a square rail here. Why do we have a square rail? I'd love to show everybody about this. Well, one of those things that works so great, and Blaine, to your point, I'm just going to snap this down on there. It's super easy, but it actually ratchets. So this is how we actually create tension on the frame. And so I'm going to drape this fabric back over this quilt. We take that, we lay it over. We can simply take an open hand. We put a little pressure, which drops that down. I'm going to add, and we'll add a little bit of tension, and that's how we tension the quilt up. In order to put the top on here, I'm going to show you the same thing. We have a nice, wonderful square rail here, if we can look at that. So I'm going to drape the fabric. It sits on top. This simply just pops down on it to hold it. And what do we do with this fabric? Well, we have a great way and some clips that just come right around there and help hold that fabric up and out of the way of the machine. And what we do is we just put it on. We're ready to go, and we just clip that on there. Let me hop around this side again. So again, we clip the fabric on the top. And that makes that ready to go. And then we can move the machine, whether it's a domestic machine or a 15 or Blaine. Also, your customers have an option on your site to buy up to a 19-inch machine that will let them quilt and sew over the surface of their fabric. So it's a wonderful thing to do. 4.5 feet by about 4 feet, sitting, standing, starting with your domestic machine. So you can start with the domestic machine, moving to a mid-arm, and also has long arm capabilities with machines that can be up to 19 inches that can also work with this frame. So it's a great way to get started and a great way to build out part of your quilting in your sewing room.
You're exactly right, Nathan. And hey, you know, the great thing about, and I keep reiterating about that hoop frame. You know, I'm a huge fan of that hoop frame because, you know, you and I work a lot of trade shows, and you know, we'll have the big long arm set up with the 10 and 12 foot frames, and I'll have people come up to me and go, "Oh my God, I would love to have that. I just don't have room." And that's always the saying. And I go, you know what? We have something for you that you can put in your house that's a lot smaller, and you can still do a king size quilt on. And matter of fact, you don't even have to buy a mid-arm machine. You can use your domestic machine. So that's why I've always been a big fan of this hoop frame. And again, I'm a huge fan of that 15R because you can get into a mid-arm machine with a frame, either one of those frames, for $37.99. That's very inexpensive to get into. That's as cheap as, or you know, as some of our regular domestic sewing machines. So you think about what you're getting for that. That is a great value. And again, you're looking at the quilts that you have there that Carla did are just incredible. And that just shows you what you can do. And then again, you kind of briefly hinted about the robotics, which we can talk a little bit about robotics when we go next to the Q21.
Yeah, for sure.
But the QNIC 21. But again, I think that, you know, you can put robotics on the 15R. So
yeah, one of those things, Blaine, as you think about this, you know, a lot of our customers, as they decide to move into this, you mentioned right out, they have this potential fear of, well, how much room and how complicated, how advanced do I need to be? They also think about the cost as part of that, right? How expensive might it be to get into here? And then I think the other question they're wanting to know is, can I do this or will I be successful? And to your point with that, yeah, they're going to find great success. They can start somewhere where they're most comfortable to start. Maybe it's a frame only with their own machine. Maybe they're ready to get into really one of the best options is like this mid-arm machine when you're paying $37.99, like you mentioned, and you're going to have a choice of one of their, either the queen frame or the hoop frame for free. That's absolutely a wonderful deal that you're providing right now. And then again, also I like thinking you're not going to be limited. You can continue to learn. You're going to continue to find things you're wanting to do, and the system will grow and it will expand. If you're wanting automation, you can put automation on these systems. And in fact, you might ask, well, how do you do that on the hoop frame? Well, it's smart enough that it actually knows how much it can quilt at a time. It knows where the machine is, and it actually helps you reposition your quilt back in the correct space for it to continue quilting. And so those things all become amazing options for you as well. So thank you, Blaine, for bringing some of those things up. Absolutely making quilting easier, more enjoyable, allowing you to be a little more creative, more comfortable with part of your quilting process. And I like talking about it again, completing more of your own things. So wonderful.
Hey man, I like talking to you about this because you're as passionate as I am and you get excited. But hey, I want to remind everybody one more time on this special, and then we're going to move on to a new product.
Sounds great.
But this thing, hey, the 15R, it's coming, you know, with your choice of frames. You either get the queen frame or you get that hoop frame right there. The hoop frame is a 4.5 foot frame. You need about 60 inches total, 5 feet of room in your house for that one. And it is $37.99. Hey, that's free shipping right to your door, and you're getting your choice of those frames, either the queen frame or the hoop frame. And so 3 ways to order. You can call 800-401-8151. Speak to one of our agents there. They're standing by. Hey, if you want to go on the website and check them out, We have live chat agents. They can also answer your questions. And if you can't get through to the chat today or the phone calls, because I know we're super, super busy because of the holiday, hey, go on in the chat next to the screen there to your right. Kyle has been putting the link to the Google Sheets in there. You just go fill that out. It is real time. It's actually live in our call center. They'll see it when you put something in there, and they'll get your phone number. Just put your phone number and what you're interested in, and they can give you a call as soon as they get off the phone. So, hey, great. Yeah, I see everybody saying great deals, great prices. Denise, it is a great price. And I'm telling you, if you've been considering getting into quilting, this is the best way to do it is start. I would highly recommend getting the 15R with one of those frames and start in, because it's a lot of fun. And I see all the quilters that we have that shop with Sewing Machines Plus, and they send in pictures a lot of times of their quilts they've done, and we actually have people that work for us that are quilters and award-winning quilters, too. And so quilting is big and very passionate for all of our employees. We have a ton of people that work for us that are into quilting, and so you're getting to talk to experts when you talk. And I've learned so much about quilting just from our employees. So great price, guys. Don't delay. It's $37.99. Nathan did a great job on that. So Nathan, our next machine we have is a brand new product that got launched for 2020. And look at it. He's already over there at that frame. Look how those machines look, guys. If you think the 15R, you want to do something a little bit more throat space so you don't have to move that quilt as much, this is the big boy. So tell us all about this new Unique 21.
Wonderful, Blaine. Thanks for asking and kind of helping move us into this. That is exactly correct. And again, we talked earlier here as we were talking about that 15. That's a great machine to get started with. A lot of people feel that when you start looking into the world of what is maybe professional long arm quilting, and you start to see a machine that gets to be this size, this is meant to be a little larger for several reasons. It's going to provide us with a lot more space. We're really looking at stepping up in the total process as far as what becomes available to you when you move from the domestic to the mid arm and now the long arm. And a lot of people love the additional conveniences that come from something moving into this size. And I do want to talk about, I don't want to confuse everybody. I do have two machines here. We're going to talk a little bit because we have our 21, I'm going to refer to it as the 21R, which is a similar kind of a big brother to that 15, stitch regulated with a lot of great features. You're also going to notice on, Blaine, on your website that there's an option for people to buy a slightly high performance version of this as well. And then at the end, I'm going to put a tablet on here and I'm going to show you how easy it is with an automated system as well. So I just want to kind of talk about a little bit of a different system. This one does require the larger frame. Now, what's nice is when the consumers, and maybe we'll get into this right now, but when a consumer's looking at buying into the 21, they do have an option as far as what size what size frame they want. You can get an 8-foot frame, a 10-foot frame, or also clear up to 12 feet. So these machines will accommodate up to the largest king size quilt you're going to have. And right now you'll also notice that we have this light bar on top of it. That is part of the package that you're offering on your site right now. I want to talk about this and just quickly show you some really nice things that we end up identifying as better features on why might we move to 21. If you'll notice these handles, we have the same handles. However, this one has adjustment. So we can actually lift the handles. We can lower the handles. I like to show this as well, that we can change them. If we want to do a different type of quilting, which is called micro stippling, we can actually adjust those handles down. And one of the other things that we don't think about, if you're quilting and you start quilting at the back, we don't want to have to lean over that quilt. That starts to cause a little bit of back pain. So these handles also can be extended. And this is a really great feature so that we can extend those handles and create the perfect fit for me. If I'm a little taller, if I'm a little shorter, or if I need to work at the back of my frame, it's just incredibly easy to adjust those handles, put those in place to feel exactly the way I want them. Now, what's really nice about this, I'm going to turn this on again. I'm going to move it around. They're very light, very nimble. This has that stitch regulation. You'll notice how that machine speeds up, slows down. And as we move it around, it will help keep those nice, precise Even stitches all the time. So these are some really great things. I also like that once we start getting to this level, our track becomes a little bit more precise. We have a professional track system on this particular machine. We also have some other great features that make this very easy to roll the fabric. It has a hand wheel included on something like this. You can buy additional accessory rails also. And so a machine like this, you know, and Blaine, when we kind of talked about this earlier, I think when you say, hey, let's get into quilting or let's get into long arms, how much might that be? I think a lot of times in the past it used to be 20,000. You have a friend who bought one at 20. You have a friend who's paid up to 30 or 40. And Blaine, maybe if I can come back to you and let's find out how and what's this special that you have going on right now for all the viewers here and all your customers.
Well, Nate, that's right. We have a great price on this and a great special. And what we're doing with that 21, that Unique 21, we're giving you a choice of basically 3 different sizes of frames. So we're throwing in the Continuum 2 frame, and you're going to get your choice of an 8-foot, a 10-foot, or a 12-foot frame, just based on your room in your house. And then also, you know, if y'all see that LED light bar above it, we're throwing in an LED light bar absolutely free, and it's adjustable so you can adjust it for the size of frame you have. So great price on that. Can we throw the overlay up on that, David? There it is. It's $73.99, everyone. Great price. This thing is it's a $600 savings, and it's actually probably more than that. If you add everything up together of what we do with this, it's probably a lot bigger savings than that. But it's $73.99, free shipping right to your door. And again, you're getting that choice of that Continuum 2 frame. You're getting a choice of an 8-foot version, the 10-foot, or 12-foot, whatever you want. And then we're going to throw that LED light bar in absolutely free. So great price, great machine. This machine is brand new. It's their new release. It was in early 2020 that got released. So the first of this year that they came out, this 21, and it is a great looking machine. I've actually used this machine. Again, I talk about the power steering, Nathan. This thing is power steering on steroids. It is so easy to move. You can actually quilt with one finger. I mean, you really can. It is amazing.
Blaine, hey, thanks a lot. You're absolutely right. I'll tell you, this is even a better deal. Like you're talking about, the frame alone, by the way, Blaine, if somebody were to buy that and look at building the package, the frame alone is $2,500. So that's the free given. The light bar is another $600. Those are the freebies along with putting that machine on sale. You do have an absolutely wonderful price, $73.99. Think about this. You can get into a professional long arm, a frame up to 12 feet with the light bar, all of that for $73.99. That is an amazing deal. So I can't help reiterate, if you've ever thought about this in the past, if you're maybe using something a little bit smaller, you're thinking about an upgrade, now is the time to do so. And Blaine, going back, I know that your individuals do a wonderful job at helping answer questions. I know we're kind of getting short on time, and so I thought I would just throw this last thing in here. Again, great functions, stitch regulations. There's another model that they can look at. We have both a 21R and we have what we refer to it as a 21 Pro, which would be this machine over here. I don't want to spend time on it, but there are 2 versions that they can choose from. This one does cost more. I know you also have it on sale. I think it's a little over $1,000, probably about $1,600 more, but that one's on sale as well. I wanted to just quickly show them if they decide, and a lot of the questions when we get here are, can you computer automate it? I'm going to push a couple simple buttons and let you see how easy it is to automate. And so I'm going to simply tap my screen. In this process, I can choose a pattern I want to sew. I select that pattern. It then lets me place that wherever we want, so we can have as much accuracy as we want or as little, but this one lets us go. We can choose the space we're putting it in, and I'm going to simply tell it what I would like to do. I'm ready to quilt. The system knows that. It's going to go ahead and connect to the machine. If we want, we can pull our thread up. I'm going to quickly just go ahead and turn it and tell it to sew. And it's going to move to where it needs to go, asking the right questions. Is my needle out of the fabric? Yes, it is. It's going to go ahead and start stitching. And it's going to work through our process for us here. And now one of the great things, Blaine, that also, and I'll kind of maybe just step away from this just a little bit, is that it makes it that easy. Select a pattern, place a pattern, sew a pattern. And so coming back to this, one of the wonderful things about Sewing Machines Plus is your extensive knowledge, is the extensive offering that you guys have, the wonderful prices, and a fact that consumers can go from beginning to professional quilting, all with SewingMachinesPlus.com. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of stop that there as we kind of conclude part of this for you, Blaine. Any other thoughts or any other questions we can answer right now that we might have with the audience?
Well, Nathan, one thing I wanted to iterate to everybody, our slide is actually wrong. It shows that it doesn't show a savings of $600. This package is normally $11,249. So it is a great, great price for everybody right now. And I don't know why the slide got wrong, but it's normally $11,249. We got it for $73.99. What a great price on this. And again, you're getting your choice. It's a Continuum 2 frame. You're getting your choice of an 8-foot, 10-foot, or a 12-foot version. We're throwing in the LED light bar absolutely free. And so what a great, great package. And as Nathan just showed you, if you want to put robotics on it, it's extremely easy to put the robotics on there and make it all automated. So Kim, you are right. This is a great, great package. And by the way, Kim Wolf is always on our shows. Thank you for always coming on our show, Kim. And I got to meet Kim in person. She came in the store the other day at the San Marcos store. I was over there and got to meet Kim. And so it was a pleasure meeting you, Kim. And thanks for being on our show. So Nathan, I tell you what, this is some great products we're highlighting today. And I know that y'all are awfully proud of that new 21 because you introduced it at the first of the year this year. It's been a great seller for you. And the thing, like I said, it's a power steering on steroids. It is so easy. You know, you think of a large machine would be a little harder than that 15R, but it's actually not. To me, I actually found it even seems easier.
Yeah, you know? I love that, Blaine. That is so true. Once you kind of understand that simply it's a motion over fabric, what you get on something like the 21, I'd say it's more conveniences. If you like auto climate control in your car, you got it. If you like power, you know, the power windows, you got it. If you want memory seats, you've got it. You know, when you start out at the lower end, you don't quite get all those fun additional perks. But once you start moving into machines like this, it's going to go a little faster. It's going to go a little farther. It's going to quilt a little more. So that's why, if you're thinking about it, that's why if you're ready to step up to something like this, not only is it a fantastic deal, it is just as easy to use as you know, another car, steering a car. So you're going to find that same success with all those conveniences. So.
You know what's so funny too? You know, I'm a robot guy. I'm a robotics guy, Nathan, because I've never, you know, we have employees that we can get out there and demo, and they can do the feathers and do the stippling and all that, and just make it look perfect. And I'm like, oh, I'm so envious. I can't do that, you know, because I just haven't had enough practice. But hey, I tell you what, you give me a robotic system, and man, I am good.
I'm with you. It sure makes me look. In fact, I've done that when I've been demoing, and they're like, "Wow, you're doing that." I'm like, "Yeah," with the automation.
And then you let your hands off. Yeah, I do that at trade shows. I'll be up there holding those handles, and it's just being perfect. And they're
beautiful,
surrounding me, and they're amazed. And then they're like, "Man, how long have you been quilting?" And I said, just for maybe a year. And I go, "But this makes it easy." And I just let my hands go, and they freak out then. But it is the robotics, you know, if you want something that, you know, perfection, and you want something easy. And, you know, I know in the quilting world, you know, there's different levels of quilting. And, you know, the people that quilt by hand, they look down on people that use machines. And people that do free motion look down at people that use, you know, the handlebars and do their quilting. And then everybody looks down on robotics. But I'm telling you, you can do basically robotics. You're still going to have to do a lot of work. It's not going to do the quilting for you, you know, and so what it does, it just makes your lines and all your things precise, consistent through the whole quilt, and it makes it a lot faster. So I know a lot of people that want to get into making quilts as a side business. Robotics really speeds the process up for them, and you know, that's a great avenue to make some extra money. I mean, you know, as you know, quilts. People sell quilts for up to, you know, $500 to $1,000 a quilt sometimes, and so there's a lot of money that people make just making quilts in there, and there's a huge demand for them, as you know.
Yeah, with that, Blaine, coming back, I'm going to encourage, anybody who's been watching this and has any bit of an interest again, make sure to contact, one of the experts there at SewingMachinesPlus.com. With that, this automation is on sale. I believe it's on sale also, Blaine, that what you're doing is part of this package at 25% off if they want to buy that in addition. And if anybody else already owns, if any of the viewers own one of the Unique systems, I would highly encourage you. Now would be a great time to be able to take advantage of those really big discounts. And there's two great available options. Some people might wonder, you're looking at about a $4,500 option, and there's a $7,000 option. And then on sale at 25% off, you're going to find that is a lot more affordable than you ever thought it was in the past. So again, I just want to encourage Blaine as well. If somebody's interested in a machine, make a call, right? Get on that list. If they're looking and they already own a system, they're looking to accessorize it, not a better time than right now in order to take advantage of those sales. So again, hey, Blaine, thanks for allowing me to share with your audience, with all the quilters out there, with all the sewers out there. It's been a lot of fun. I know there's probably a lot of questions you get. Make sure to contact SewingMachinesPlus.com. They do an amazing job. Their customer service, the care they have, the knowledge they have in finding what will work best for you. So thanks, Blaine, for having me on. It's been a wonderful time, and thanks everybody for watching, allowing me to participate.
Well, hey, thank you, Nathan, for coming on. And guys, again, we have experts standing by. That's one thing that we're extremely strong. We're the largest quilting retailer in the nation. And I'm
going to say in the world, by the way. I'm going to say in the world. I'm going to pipe in on that because that is true. Not probably. I'm pretty darn confident in the world, okay?
Yeah, it's amazing. Every day how many quilting machines go out our door. And, all the way from our salespeople, all of them are extremely knowledgeable about the robotic systems, about frame sizes, what machines will fit on what. They're also our service techs. Our service techs are all, certified. They are extremely knowledgeable. If you have any kind of troubleshooting problems, my guys will FaceTime you, and you can show them with your telephone the problem you have, and usually they can work it out and help you keep it going. And we also have, I have installers and techs nationwide that can actually come right to your house if you're having sorts of problems. So we try to really do a good job supporting the long arm community because it is. Sometimes it can be intimidating. Sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming to people getting into the first time. But I promise you, don't be scared. Everybody starts somewhere. And I tell you what, these Grace products make it extremely easy to get into it. And again, you're not talking about these $30,000 and $40,000 huge systems. We're talking about getting into a very affordable thing. Yep. We also offer financing, so we try to make it easy for people to buy. And if you've been thinking about quilting, oh my gosh, what a way to get into it. So
it is a way.
Guys, if we have any questions that anybody's coming up, before I let Nathan go, I wanted to make sure he could answer any questions that maybe we can't. Kyle, is there any questions that you've seen that? Again, guys, if y'all have questions about anything, make sure you pipe in before I let Nathan go. But I want to remind everybody about this machine again. It's $73.99. This thing is normally $12,495. You're saving almost $4,000 on this. You're going to get your choice. It's the Continuum 2 frame that comes with it. You're going to get your choice of an 8-foot, 10-foot, or 12-foot, whichever one that works out for your space that you have available. And we're throwing in that LED light bar with it. What a great package. Oh my gosh. And this is the brand new Unique 21 that just got released in the first of the year this year. So a lot of research and development went into making this machine. And I know Nathan told me about this some time ago that they'd been working on, and we were super excited to get this machine, and it has been a huge seller for us. People love it. The size it makes, it's just, Nathan, it's kind of right in that ballpark of size, isn't it? It's not a big 26-inch, it's not a 15-inch, but that 21-inch is just a good size, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It's one of those things where once you start, if you actually put your hands on a 15 and you do 1 or 2 quilts, you're going to find that same process exists in that 21. It is not too large. With part of that, you just end up with twice as much quilting space, so you can actually quilt much more at a time before you need to roll or move to another area. So to your point, you're absolutely right. It is just as easy. It's not more complicated. A lot of people have that perception. Oh, it's this big machine. Oh, it's only meant for professionals. And what we find, just so you know, the majority of our customers are not. they're people at home looking to do their own quilts, and we find that they move from that 15 or they decide to move to that 21 because they have a little more space. You know, they're looking at some of those additional conveniences that they're willing to pay for. And at that price, $73.99, that's not a lot. You're talking 21 inches of space, the stitch regulation, multiple modes, an ability to continue to expand on it. Later on, if you want to add, you can buy that automation. You can continue to buy, I mentioned before, those ruler bases and feet. There's so many more things you can do. The potentials are unlimited. So you're absolutely right with that, Blaine.
Well, Nathan, I want to remind everybody at home again, hey, this thing is $73.99. This is normally a lot more money than this. I mean, you're talking almost $4,000 in savings. Hey, you're getting your choice of it comes with the Continuum 2 frame that we're throwing in, and you're getting your choice of an 8-foot, a 10-foot, or 12-foot frame, depending on your size of space you have. And we're throwing in that free LED light bar. Great, great price. There's 3 ways to order. You can call 1-800-401-8151. Everybody in our call center is extremely experienced with quilting machines and frame sizes and things that can help you. They can also answer any robotic questions you have if you just want to put robotics on an existing one. And you can go on our website. We have live chat agents standing by. They are helping you, as well. We are offering 0% interest-free, financing for you to help finance this thing and get it in time for Christmas. And if you can't get through to the call center, you can't get through to the chat, Kyle's been putting a link up in the chat that has a link to Google Sheets. Google Sheets are live in our call center. And when you go update that, it automatically updates their sheets in the call center, and they can see your name. Make sure you put your name and a phone number that they can contact you and with the product that you're interested in, and they're going to call you and see if they can help you out. So no reason that they can't get one of these machines. And again, I want to thank Nathan Erznoznik from Grace being on our show today for an hour. And hey, guys, I think we ought to give the clues away again. What do y'all think? I'm going to give the Christmas clues away for our Christmas songs, and then we're going to do some giveaways. And thank everybody for sticking around today. But as we know, we're calling it the Christmas song scavenger hunt. And so that Christmas song scavenger hunt is we call it the phrase that pays. And so I'm going to give you the clue from yesterday, and I'm going to give you the new clue today. And don't share these on chat. Keep these to yourself, your guess. Write them down, and then we're going to give another one tomorrow and another one on Friday. And at the end of the day on Friday after our show, we're going to ask everybody to email their answers in to is it contest, Kyle? Contest, isn't it? Contest at SewingMachinesPlus.com. And we're going to pick a winner from all the correct answers, and you're going to win a Brother sewing machine. It's the LB 5000S. It's the Star Wars version. Embroidery sewing machine. It's a 4x4 embroidery area. You don't have to put the Star Wars overlay on it if you don't like Star Wars, but it is a great, great little machine, been popular. So here's the clue of, the first one. So the first clue for the first song, this Christmas song character is a jolly man going somewhere with a purpose. That's clue 1 for yesterday's song. Today's song and clue number 2, this Christmas song character doesn't use a GPS, but travels in the night with their own light. So there's your clues for today. And again, keep those to yourself. And you're going to write those down somewhere and keep them. And then on Friday, once you get all 4, you can submit your answers, and we'll see where it goes from there. And then on Monday's show, we're going to announce our winner and announce all the answers. So yeah, Monday's show on the 14th, you don't want to miss it either. So tomorrow, you don't want to miss our show. So we've got another great lineup, guys. Oh my gosh. So we have Bernina going to be here, and I think they start at 11, right, guys? 11. We're going to have a 3-hour show tomorrow, by the way. So tomorrow we have Bernina going to be here. We got some great machines that we're going to highlight, and then we're going to also have Quilters. Is it Quilters Select? No, it's Quilter Select, and then Floriani. So we're going to have 3 different vendors coming on. We're going to have Bernina at 11. At 12, it's Quilter Select. And at 1, it's going to be Floriani. So you don't want to miss that. We have some national educators going to be on with each one of those companies. And so we're going to have some great products, some great specials on them. And you don't want to miss it. It's going to be really good. And so, guys, I think we're time to give some stuff away. What do y'all think?
Let's do it. Right.
Are y'all ready to win out there? Chime in if you're ready to win, because we want to give some stuff away. And remind y'all, each day, guess what? The prizes just get a little better, okay? Hey, today the prizes are already pretty good because Brent Taylor giving all those Durkee packages away and things, so that went really well. So, all right, so our first thing that we're going to give away, I think yesterday I talked a little bit about the bags. So here's our bags. We always have a bunch of the event bags. We sell these on our website. They're $9.99 each. They're for, like, if you wanted to go shopping at some of the grocery stores. You know, nowadays they encourage you to bring your own shopping bags in, in California here they charge you for your little plastic bags. And Kathy Gerber says she is ready to win. So Kathy, good luck. So anyway, we have a lot of different colors, a lot of different unique sayings on each one of them. And so we have a bundle, all 8 bags, 8 colors that you can get on the website for $49.99, or you can buy them individually for $9.99. However, we're going to give some lucky winners the whole bundle. So let's pick a winner for our first bundle we're going to give away.
Ronnie Miller.
And the first winner is Ronnie Miller. So congratulations, Ronnie Miller. Make sure that you email us to contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com. Your name and shipping address where we can ship these to, and in the subject line put I won, and in the body back there, you know, right above where your address is, put that you won the bag bundle. That way we'll know what you won, and we'll get that. So get that emailed to us, and we'll get that out as soon as possible. So let's pick us another bag bundle winner. Let's do this, Santa. All right, so I may have to end up wearing a wet red suit and a hat in here since everybody's been calling me Santa. But hey, I like it. I like that you're calling me Santa because I like giving stuff away. So our new winner, I can't see the last name, guys. Lauer. Okay, so it's Kathy Lauer. And so congratulations, Kathy, on being our winner. And there's Ronnie. Ronnie's typing in, saying thank you. Hey, thank you, Ronnie, for tuning in today, and congratulations on winning the bags. And so anyway, what was our other winner? You took it off the screen too quick. No, what was the? Kathy Lauer. It was Kathy. There she is. So Kathy Lauer, you have just won a bag bundle. So Kathy, make sure that you email us to contest@SewingMachinesPlus. In the title, put I won. In the body, put I won the bag bundle. And give us your shipping address so we can make sure we get these to you. All right, guys, what do y'all think we ought to give away next? I think we ought to give some sewing mats. Do y'all? Yeah, what do y'all think? All right, y'all want to win some sewing mats? I always talk about our sewing mats, guys, because this is one of them right here I have in front of me. I absolutely love these sewing mats. And it's because not only do they look good, they actually serve a really good purpose. So if you've been, sewing for quite some time, you know that, sewing machines have a little bit of a vibration to them, and they make a little bit of noise. Well, these mats, what they do, and especially nowadays, as expensive as machines are and as electronics as they are, think about a computer. It's pretty much what you've got running your machine is a computer. These things actually dampen that vibration that the machines put out, and it actually helps your electronics last longer on your machine. They also dampen the noise from the machine it produces. So it's doing 2 really major good functions. And then the other thing that it does is if you have a really nice surface, you're sitting, like if it's a nice wood table, you're sitting at your dining room table, you can put this mat down and put your machine on it, and it's not going to scratch or bar your surface whatsoever. And it's easy to clean. Just take a damp cloth and just wipe it off. So we have these in all kinds of sizes. We have them actually in 6 different colors in all 3 sizes. We have a medium, a large, and an extra large size. I think they range from $44 to $49. So we have them on our website. Kyle can probably put the link up there for y'all so y'all can go if you need to purchase one. We try to have them in where you can match your machine up. We do have them in in Brother Blue. You see the Bernina red here, and we also have in Baby Lock Gold. And those are the colors from the manufacturer's color codes, so they match exactly. And then we have a purple one that we did, a light blue one, and then what was the other color, guys? Purple, light blue, pink. And pink. That's right. How did I forget pink? So we have those other three colors. And then we have some limited edition models that we have what we call the Best Friends. The Best Friends one has an imprint of like a dog and cat on them. So we have those in pink and light blue in the extra large size. And then we have the American waving flag in the extra large size. Oh, so those are the three limited editions. So we love those things. So let's give away, guys. I'm kind of feeling really good today. Let's give one away of every color.
Whoa.
Of the regular ones, not the limited editions. Let's give 6 mats away. What do y'all think? Everybody chime in. If y'all think that's a good idea, let's give 6 colors of mats away. And we're going to basically give the large size away. And that'll be a medium size, like for your machines. It won't be the medium or the extra large, but it'll be a large size. So it's still a pretty good size one. So 6 of those we're going to give away. So let's start out. The very first color we're going to get. You know what we could do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. No, let's go ahead and stick the one. We're going to give, I can't keep up with the colors, but we're going to do. The very first one we're going to give away, we're going to give away the pink size, the pink large mat. All right, so let's give a pink one away. So is it Walter?
Lori Walters.
Lori Walters, congratulations. You just won a pink large mat. So Lori, make sure you email us at contest at Sewing Machines Plus. Put in the title, I won. Tell us what you won, that you won the pink large mat, and put your shipping address, and we'll get that right out to you. So our second one that we're giving away, we're going to give away, we just gave the pink one, let's give the purple. We're going to give you a purple mat away, the large purple mat. And let's get us a winner, David. And the winner is?
Rachel Mooser.
So Rachel Mooser. Kyle is telling me, so hey, if I butchered your name, it's Kyle's fault, Rachel. So Rachel Mooser, you just won the purple large mat. And again, I hope you heard, just email us at contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com and put in the title, I won, put in the subject line, I won the purple large mat, and put your shipping address so we can make sure we get that right out to you. All right, so there's 2 down. The third one, so we just gave the pink and purple away. So what's the other color, Kyle?
Light blue.
Let's do the light blue one then. So the light blue large mat, and our winner is?
Caroline Weiner.
So Caroline Weinard. So Caroline Weinard, if I'm butchering y'all's name today, guys, it's Kyle's fault. Just remember that. So Caroline, congratulations. I think you probably heard how to get it. You know, subject line, I won. Make sure you put in there that I won the light blue large mat, and give us your shipping address, and we'll get that shipped right out to you. All right. So the fourth one we're going to give away. Let's give away the Baby Lock Gold. What do y'all think? Baby Lock Gold. Let's pick a winner. All right. Here is the winner.
Sharon Gregory.
So Sharon Gregory. So Sharon Gregory, you're our winner. You get the Baby Lock Gold large mat. And again, in the header, make sure you put I won. In the body, put I won the Baby Lock Gold large mat, and then give us your shipping address, and we'll get that right out to you. So congratulations, Sharon. So the next one we're going to give away, let's give away the red. This is going to be the Bernina red large mat, and let's get us a winner for that. So I can't see. Rachel.
That was the same way.
Oh, that's the same one. Can't win twice, Rachel. Sorry. All right, so let's have a winner. All right, so David's trying to pull up another winner. Donna Strobe. Strobe? Like a strobe light, Kyle? I can't see it. Strobe light?
Strode.
Strode. Okay, so Donna Strode. So congratulations, Donna, on winning that. And you just won the Bernina red mat in a size large. It's the Bernina red. So the red large mat, and we'll get that shipped out to you. Make sure you in your header line put I1 in the body, put I1 the red large mat, and put your shipping address. We'll get that to you. All right, and so let's give a Brother Blue. We're going to give one of the blue mats away in a large size. So if David can get me a winner on that. Coming right up. We have a random generator. So we have a random generator that generates names, so it takes some time sometimes. So y'all just be patient with me. And what's the winner's name?
Anna Diaz.
So Anna Diaz. So Anna Diaz, you are our winner of our Brother Blue large mat. So it's just a blue mat, but it's in the Brother Blue color. So large blue mat. Anna, make sure in the subject line put I1. You're going to email to contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com. And in the body, just put, hey, I won the large blue mat, and give us your shipping address, and we'll get that right out to you. All right, guys. So there was 6 mats we gave away. We gave 2 sets of the bundles. I think we ought to give something else. What do y'all think? One more grand prize, guys. I think let's give away an Encore sewing machine. It's the Encore 260A sewing machine. This is our own brand machine that we had made for us. The stitch quality is incredible. And hey, I'm feeling like Santa today, so let's give one away. What do you think? So they're going to get us a winner of the Encore machine. It's a 260A, and I'm going to also throw in the extension table that comes with it. What do you think about that, guys? You get an Encore 260A with the extension table. What a great prize. This is a $299 machine. I think it's a $49.99 extension table. So you're basically getting a $350 prize here. And Kathy, you are exactly right. It is an awesome prize. Marilyn also says it's an awesome prize. And again, guys, I keep saying the prizes are just going to keep getting better every day. So you don't want to not tune in. All right, so here's our winner. Marilyn Whitco. So Marilyn Whitco, you just won a sewing machine. Congratulations on that, Marilyn. And make sure that you put in the subject line on the email, I won the Encore sewing machine and extension table in your body along with your shipping address. And you're going to email us at contest@SewingMachinesPlus.com, and we'll get that right out to you. So everybody's calling me Santa Blaine. I think I've got a new name, guys. I got to tell y'all, since they said Santa Blaine, our graphic design artist made a really funny thing. We'll have to show y'all on tomorrow's show. It's got me actually, with a blonde beard and a red hat and a red suit, dressed up like Santa Claus. And she did it all like fake. Took a picture of me and did it. So we'll have to show that because everybody was calling me Santa Blaine from the show. So we'll show that on tomorrow's show. And again, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in today. I hope it was a lot of fun for you. It was for me. We had a great time today. I want to thank Brent Taylor from Durkee Hoops for being here. Brent is just awesome. He's got a great company. We have a great partnership with them. We're their #1 dealer in the world. And then we had Nathan Erznoznik from Grace here, and we're their #1 dealer in the world, by the way, too. So we really have a great partnership with both of those companies. And tomorrow, guys, we have a great show lined up for you again. So make sure you tune in. We're going to have Bernina here. We got some Floriani's going to be here. We have Quilter Select going to be here. And we're going to give you another clue for the Christmas scavenger hunt song. And you never know what we're going to have. We're going to have some great things. But we're going to go all the way through Friday this week. And then Monday is going to be our final show for the Christmas countdown. So you don't want to miss any of these shows. We're no telling what we're going to come up with. Kyle and David back here, thank y'all guys again for what y'all do. And I want to thank all of our marketing team back at the office and what they do, putting all these graphics and all the things they do together. And again, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. And we'll see y'all again here in the morning. And we're going to be here again starting at 11 a.m. So I hope to see you then.